Chapter 101. Frieza's first form has a combat power of 530,000, his second form after transformation has a combat power of over 1 million, and his third form has a combat power of over 2 million. The fourth form is the most terrifying, with 10% of its combat power reaching 12 million. With the current fighting power of Son Goku and Son Goku, there is no problem in dealing with Frieza's first form, but as long as Frieza transforms, they won't have any chance of winning. Boss, the Dragon Ball radar is responding. There really is a Dragon Ball here. Great. Krillin was holding the Dragon Ball radar in his hand and shouting with a look of joy on his face. Everyone, lower the pressure, quick. Sun Wufi's face suddenly changed, and he reminded in a low voice. At the same time, the energy in his body suddenly decreased and restrained, without releasing it at all. So many powerful ki. In that direction. One of them is as strong as us. Much stronger than Vegeta. Who is he? Son Goku also restrained his ki, his face serious. Really, there is a lot of powerful energy, and there is an evil feeling. Krillin's forehead was sweating and the corners of his mouth were twitching. Could it be that they are Vegeta's accomplices? Are they here to look for the Dragon Ball? Seeing that everyone had calmed down, Sun Wufi felt a little relieved. You must not meet Frieza before you reach 3 million in battle. Otherwise, without the ability to transform into Super Saiyan, they are definitely no match for each other. The enemy must have a combat capability detector. Our whereabouts have probably been discovered. It's not safe here. Let's move to another place first. Sun Wufi said as he was about to put away the universe spaceship. Just at this moment. Swish! Above the sky, a Saiyan spaceship cut through the sky, flew past Sun Wufi and others in the distance, and crashed heavily into the distant valley. It's Vegeta. Why did Vegeta come to Namek? Krillin and the other two's faces changed drastically. Even Son Goku showed a surprised look on his face. Vegeta's aura seems to be much stronger than before. I'm afraid his combat power is no less than 100,000. Indeed, Sun Wufi also sensed Vegeta's aura, which had increased several times. Could it be that because he was beaten to the point of being on his last breath before, the group has increased so much? But that's okay, if he was still as weak as in the original novel, he probably wouldn't have had a chance to show off on this trip to Namek. Swish! Another universe ship followed and flew from the sky and landed on Namek. There was a gleam in Sun Wufi's eyes. If nothing unexpected happens, it should be the guy who has always been against Vegeta, whose name seems to be Chu Yi. More people are coming? What's going on with Namek? Why are there so many Saiyan's accomplices? Krillin's lips were trembling and his legs were shaking a little. He's just a small character, don't worry about him. Krillin, your energy is much stronger than his, can't you feel it? Piccolo snorted coldly. Krillin sensed it carefully and it seemed to be true. He was indeed a small character. Okay, let's move to a safe place. This place is too conspicuous. Sun Wufi said as he transformed the universe spaceship into a universal capsule and put it away. Found it. Those forces just now were them. A loud voice suddenly sounded, and two ugly guys wearing Saiyan combat uniforms appeared in front of Sun Wufi and others. Not a Namek? But it doesn't matter. The order we received is to destroy everyone on this planet. I clearly saw the universe ship just now, why is it gone? Hey, where did you hide the universe ship? Hand it over now, or I'll kill you. You're useless rubbish. The two men threatened Sun Wufi and others. At this moment, Sun Wufi and the other four had all restrained their energy. These soldiers of Frieza's army had no ability to sense energy and could only rely on the combat power detectors worn on their left eyes. They could not detect how powerful the five men were at all. Chop suey! Sun Wufi spat disdainfully, glanced at Piccolo, and said calmly, Piccolo, take care of them in an instant, don't let anyone notice. I think this shouldn't be difficult for you, right? Certainly. Piccolo snorted coldly, a sinister smile appeared on his face. I have been practicing for so long, I am itching to do it. Even though they are just two second-rate guys. Swish! The figure suddenly disappeared, and the next moment, appeared behind two soldiers of Frieza's army. Large amounts of blood spurted out from the necks of the two men. Dash dash! His eyes opened wide, and he made an unconscious ho-ho sound, then he fell to the ground, without a sound. Piccolo, can't you be more subtle? That's disgusting. Sun Wufiei frowned slightly. The next moment, 2 energy bullets flew out from Sun Wufiei's hands and landed on the bodies of the 2 men. A raging fire started. After a moment, the aroma of barbecue wafted up and the flames suddenly disappeared. Extract. Sun Wufiei placed his hand on the roasted corpse and activated the power of the golden finger. Suddenly, a trace of vital energy was sucked out of the 2 people's bodies. That's a lot. Hey? They're even higher in rank than senzu beans. A look of surprise appeared on Sun Wufiei's face. This was the first time for him to extract vital energy from a human corpse. He did not expect to be able to extract such a high level of vital energy. However, the number is too small. It is far from enough to improve the potential and physical strength of the 2 brothers. Boss, what are you doing? Krillin touched the corpse whose vitality had been extracted by Sun Wufiei with his foot in some surprise, but the corpse shattered into ashes as soon as he touched it. A gust of wind blew by, leaving only the empty combat uniforms. Hiss! Everyone took a deep breath. Even Son Goku had a look of extreme horror on his face. Boss, this is nothing, I just drained all their energy. Sun Wufiei said calmly. It was about time to let Son Goku and the others know that he could extract energy, but the fact that he could change his potential value should be kept secret. Drain, energy. Piccolo's body trembled a little. How many secrets does Sun Wufiei have? This ability to completely absorb the power of another person's body is too terrifying. If used in battle. What's that expression on your face? Sun Wufiei knew from everyone's expressions that they were thinking the wrong thing, and couldn't help but laugh. I can only extract the vitality from cooked food. Do you really think I'm omnipotent? Okay, let's go and find a secluded place to stay. It's not safe here. Chapter 102. Just now, there seemed to be a very strong aura that appeared for a moment, and the auras of 2 soldiers from Frieza's army disappeared. Vegeta was confronting Chu Yi, and suddenly he looked in the direction of Sun Wufiei and the other 4. Strange, why does it look familiar? Who could it be? Vegeta, you still have the mood to care about others. Have you given up on your own life? Ha ha ha. Chu Yi laughed. Giving up on yourself? You think too much. Vegeta turned his head back and stared at Chu Yi with disdain. You are not worthy of me giving up on myself. Really? Vegeta, I didn't expect you to learn to tell jokes after the big defeat on Earth. Chu Yi smiled evilly. King Frieza had long expected that you would rebel, but he admired your fighting talent, so he never took action against you. But he had asked me, 937, to keep a close eye on you. This time, you gave me the opportunity to kill you. Kill me? Do you think you can do that? Vegeta's expression remained unchanged, with a disdainful sneer still hanging on the corner of his mouth. Of course it's me. Aren't you wearing a detector? Take a good look, my fighting power has surpassed yours. With your current pitiful fighting power, you are doomed. Chu Yi laughed loudly. I will let King Frieza know that Hui is the real useful warrior king under him. Really? Vegeta grinned, and a powerful aura suddenly rose from his body. Use your detector to take a good look. I will beat you into dust in the universe in an instant. / 40,000. Bang. The detector on Chu Yi's left eye suddenly exploded. Vegeta's combat power increased madly in an instant, and the detector couldn't bear it at all. Impossible. How could your fighting power surge so terribly? Chu Yi was shocked, and the next moment, he turned around and fled. His combat power is only 19,000, and he originally thought that it had surpassed Vegeta's combat power of 18,000, but now he found that Vegeta's combat power has exceeded 40,000. And the actual number will only be higher. There is no way to win. If you don't run away, you will die. Want to escape? Vegeta moved and chased after him at an extremely fast speed. He instantly appeared in front of Chu Yi and punched him directly, punching Chu Yi's body through. Then he suddenly exerted force with his hands, and a large amount of shock light waves scattered out, directly turning Ant Chu into ashes. Dirty fireworks! Humph! Landing on the ground, Vegeta's energy suddenly shrank, just like what Son Goku did without anyone else, and could no longer be sensed. Was that Vegeta's energy just now? It's so strong. Sun Wufiei and his 4 companions had just stopped in a hidden cave. Piccolo gritted his teeth, feeling a little depressed. He originally thought that after all the hard training along the way and adapting to 50 times the gravity, he should be able to surpass Vegeta and give that guy a good beating. But he didn't expect that the other party improved faster than him. Hateful. Every time Sion recovers from the brink of death, his combat power increases significantly. The closer he is to death and the more serious his injuries are, the more combat power he will gain after recovery. It's not surprising that Vegeta can reach his current combat power. Sun Wufei shook his head slightly. Sion still has this ability. Son Goku suddenly realized, no wonder I feel like every time I recover from a serious injury, I am full of strength, far beyond my original limit. It turns out it's because of this. You Sions are such a perverted race. Piccolo looked at Sun Wufei and Son Goku in a daze, with mixed feelings. Piccolo, isn't it the same for you Namek people? Sun Wufei laughed and said, you have the ability of clairvoyance and super hearing, you can turn into daily necessities, regenerate, grow huge, stretch your arms, you can fly naturally, and you can even make Dragon Balls. If I really want to talk about it, you are more perverted than Sion, right? Piccolo snorted and stopped talking. Boss, sometimes I suddenly envy you guys. It's a pity that people on Earth don't have any special abilities. Krillin looked at Sun Wufei and the others with envy, and sighed somewhat dejectedly. Krillin, you don't need to belittle yourself. Your potential is higher than Piccolo's. Although Earthlings don't have any special abilities, they are better than others in martial arts practice. It's not obvious now, but when you reach a higher level, you won't envy others anymore. Sun Wufei patted Krillin's shoulder to comfort him. This was not just a consolation. The concept of combat power value is only meaningful when the strength is low. Once you can really destroy a planet with one blow or even become stronger, the combat power value is useless. At that time, something called realm began to emerge. Of course, they are still far from the so-called realm. Let's work hard to improve our combat power first. Using the universal capsule, he created 2 houses and placed them in the cave. Sun Wufei called out to Son Goku, Goku, let's go out and check the situation. Krillin, you 3 can take a break first. If you are really bored, you can go out for a walk. But remember to control your temper. There are many powerful villains on Namek. If you are not sure, it is best not to contact them. I understand, boss. You can go with peace of mind. Krillin nodded and handed the Dragon Ball radar to Son Goku. Take this Dragon Ball radar with you, maybe it can help you find the Dragon Ball. You don't need the Dragon Ball radar anymore. Just use it to look for Dragon Balls. But remember to avoid those with strong combat power. Sun Wufei shook his head, and Son Goku turned and walked out of the cave and flew into the sky. The target is the village where Frieza and his men are currently killing people. When they got closer to the area where Frieza and the others were, Son Goku and Sun Wufei descended from the sky, completely restrained their energy, approached on foot, and quietly poked their heads out from the top of a high cliff to observe. Brother, didn't you say that we shouldn't come into contact with these powerful guys for the time being? Why did you come here? Son Goku looked at the village 4.2 below, which was made up of Namek universe ships. At this moment, the soldiers of Frieza's army are forcing the elders of the village to hand over the Dragon Ball. Sun Wufei's attention was focused on the small man sitting in a circular aircraft. Frieza. Observing from such a close distance, Sun Wufei was able to sense more and more the enormous energy hidden in Frieza's body. Once that energy is released, it will definitely be earth-shattering. Frieza is indeed as strong as a monster. When I think about the possibility of fighting him in the future, I am really excited and trembling. Frieza? Son Goku, did you meet Frieza? Suddenly, King Kai's voice sounded, it's really the Universe Emperor Frieza. Damn it, how dare you provoke him? Chapter 103. Adult Kaiu. Son Goku looked up in surprise, have you been spying on us? Of course it is impossible for King Kai to come to Namek, so there is only one possibility, that is, he is spying on them in secret. I just suddenly had a bad feeling, so I came to see how you were doing in Namek. King Kai's face flushed, and his voice was a little weak, but he immediately shouted again, Son Goku, did you expect to run into Frieza a long time ago? Damn it! Do you know who he is and how scary he is? Lord Kai, don't get excited. We are not far from Frieza now. You don't want us to be discovered by him, right? Sun Wufei hurriedly comforted King Kai and telepathically said to Son Goku, Goku, just talk to him mentally. Don't make any sound, and don't let your anger out. Otherwise, you'll be in trouble if you're discovered. Is it bad to be discovered? Is the little guy in the ball the Frieza you mentioned? Is he very powerful? Son Goku's eyes were filled with a strong fighting spirit. His chi is indeed very strong, and it seems that there is still a strong power hidden in his body that has not been released. 23 is indeed a good opponent. He is not just a good opponent. King Kai was sweating profusely. Universe Emperor Frieza, that guy can make the whole universe tremble, cruel, bloodthirsty, and his fighting power is beyond your imagination. You must never provoke him. Wu Fei, I don't care what you have foreseen, leave now, take the universe ship to leave Namek, and don't mind what's going on there. Also, give up the idea of looking for the 7 Dragon Balls. I will go talk to King Yema and ask him to rebuild a body for Jiaozi that can be resurrected in the world of the living. In short, you must not fight Frieza. You are absolutely no match for him. It will bring disaster to the entire Earth. No, the entire universe. So evil. King Kai said this with his eyes, and Son Goku was a little surprised. As far as I can remember, King Kai never used such a fearful tone to describe anyone. Is that guy named Frieza really that scary? It's not weird, it's the truth. Sun Wufei nodded. Frieza is now in his first form, with a combat power of 530,000. We can handle him, but he can transform. Transform. Son Goku's eyes widened, becoming a giant ape like Vegeta. Not great ape. Sun Wufei shook his head. Frieza is a member of the Ice Demon clan. He can transform 3 times from his current normal first form. The second form has a combat power of over 1 million, the third form has a combat power of between 2 and 3 million, and the fourth form is the strongest, with a combat power of 50% of 60 million. 60 million. Son Goku was so shocked that he almost bit his tongue. Then his 100% combat power would be 120 million, right? Wow! Not bad, Goku. You're good at math. My hard work paid off. Sun Wufei looked at Son Goku with some surprise. Idiot! Is this the time to joke? King Kai's voice sounded again. A combat power of 120 million, is that someone you can compare to? I know your strength has greatly improved now, but at most you can only compete with Frieza's first form. There is no way you can beat him. Now, immediately, take the universe spaceship and leave. Do not provoke him. King Kai's words made Son Goku back off. He scratched his head and sent a message to Son Goku. Brother, how about we listen to Lord Kai and leave here first? If Frieza really has a combat power of 120 million as you said, we are no match for him. As a Saiyan son, Goku is very belligerent, but being belligerent doesn't mean being stupid. The brothers now only have a combat power of more than 500,000. Even if they can further improve it in battle and increase it several times, it can only match Frieza's third form at most, and there is no way it can pose any threat to his fourth form. It's the same even if I use 10 times the Kaioken. That's right. 10 times Kaioken. After adapting to the 150 times gravity, Son Goku and Son Wufei can already use Kaioken 10 times without putting too much strain on their bodies. If one exceeds the limit and disregards the damage to the body, a 20-fold Kaioken can be used in a very short period of time. Of course, the price is that the body will suffer a huge backlash, which can cause serious injuries or even death. But even with 20 times Kaioken, it is no match for Frieza's perfect form. No. You can't leave. Son Wufei shook his head. If we leave now, we really won't have any chance at all. Son Wufei, stop messing around. King Kai was so anxious that he kept jumping up and down on King Kai's planet. I order you to get back to Earth right now. I'm sorry, Lord Kai, I can't listen to you this time. Son Goku still shook his head. Frieza already knows about the existence of the Earth, and he also knows that there are Dragon Balls on Earth. Regardless of whether Namek has collected all the Dragon Balls to fulfill his wish of immortality, he will never let the Earth go. Even if we leave, he will still come to Earth soon. When that happens, the only outcome that awaits the Earth is destruction. 683 Son Wufei's words made King Kai even more anxious. Do you have a chance if you stay there now? You are far from being his opponent now. If you face him now, you will only die. I know. That's why I don't want to fight him now. Son Goku took a deep breath and said, we have Dragon Ball radar, but they don't. As long as we find a Dragon Ball and hide it, they won't be able to collect all 7 Dragon Balls. As long as you don't have all 7 Dragon Balls, your wish will never come true. Sun Wufi's eyes showed a strong confidence and fighting spirit. Just because we can't beat him now doesn't mean we will never be able to beat him. The Great Elder of Namek has the ability to stimulate the latent power in the human body. As long as we fight him and ask him to help us draw out the potential power in our bodies, we should be able to reach the basic value of transformation. When the time comes, there may be a chance. Transformation? Son Goku and King Kai were both confused. What transformation? Great Ape. Not Great Ape. Sun Wufi shook his head. I'm talking about the Saiyan clan's true transformation with unlimited potential, a true transformation that can increase combat power by 50 times. Become Super Saiyan. Chapter 104. Super Saiyan. Son Goku was startled, his eyes widened, and he almost stood up from the cliff. Beep. The combat power detector worn on Dodoria's left eye immediately sensed something, and he looked towards the cliff as if he sensed something. What are you doing, you idiot? Sun Wufi quickly pulled Son Goku down to the ground. Concentrate your breath. The energy sensing of the detector disappears. Dodoria, what's wrong? Frieza asked. No, nothing. I just suddenly felt a little bit of power over there. Dodoria shook her head. It's gone now. It might be a small animal or bug or something. Hey. Sun Wufi breathed a sigh of relief. I was almost discovered. What a close call. Frieza didn't take Dodoria, Sabo, and Son Goku seriously, and he could kill them in one move. But Frieza. Now is not the time to fight him. Brother, does the Super Saiyan you mentioned really have this kind of transformation? Son Goku asked in a low voice. His attention was now completely attracted by the Super Saiyan transformation that Son Goku mentioned. Of course. Sun Wufi nodded and said, this is the real reason why I chose to stay. Because I know how to transform into a Super Saiyan. However, only in Namek can we meet the minimum conditions for transformation. So, Lord Kai, please stop trying to persuade me. I know what I am doing and I won't do anything rash. King Kai was silent. After a while, he nodded, okay, since you have already thought it through, I won't say any more. But one thing is, before you are absolutely sure, do everything you can. Don't provoke Frieza. While Sun Wufi and the other two were having a secret telepathic conversation, all the Namek people in the Namek village were driven out. Frieza had Sabo take action and kill the 2 elders, then threatened to kill the 2 children if they didn't hand over the Dragon Ball in the village. Just then, the combat-type Namek people in the village came back, 3 in total. Hey, these 3 guys look like Piccolo. Son Goku said in surprise. It is very similar. The appearance of the Namek people is basically carved from the same mold, with not much difference. But with their fighting power, they can't possibly be a match for those guys. Son Goku's face darkened and he became a little anxious. When Son Goku saw Sabo killing 2 Namek elders, he couldn't help himself and was persuaded by Son Goku to stop doing it. Are we going to watch these 3 combat Nameks die now? We are indeed no match for him. But we still can't attack now. Seeing the Namek people die tragically before his eyes, Sun Wufi was also filled with righteous indignation, but there was nothing he could do. He knew better that now was not the time to take action. Before finding the Great Elder and bringing out the potential power in your body, you must not confront Frieza head-on. Sun Wufi is very clear about this. Hateful. Son Goku clenched his fists and watched the 3 combat-type Namek men release their energy and defeat a group of Frieza's men, but they were brutally killed by Dodoria. Brother, are we going to watch them all being killed? Then what's the point of us hiding here? Son Goku was shaking all over, he couldn't bear it any longer. So many innocent Namek people were killed one by one right in front of him, but he couldn't do anything. The torment in his heart almost drove him crazy. I know, wait a little longer. Sun Wufi's forehead was also sweating, they won't die like this. As long as we collect the Dragon Balls and defeat Frieza, we can use the Dragon Balls to revive them. We must be patient. In the village, the elders finally compromised and handed over the village's Dragon Ball. But Frieza asked him to tell him the whereabouts of the remaining 2 Dragon Balls. Don't even think about it. Even if I die, I will never tell you. We Namek people will never betray our companions. Really? The people on this planet really aren't afraid of death. Frieza laughed cruelly, well, if that's the case, then I'll satisfy you. Kill them all, including the 2 children. What? The elder was shocked, how can you be so mean? Children, run away. The 2 children turned and ran away. The elder also raised his hands, let me show you the pride of the Namek people. He wanted to use his skills to stop Frieza and the other 2. Call out. A red beam shot out from Frieza's right index finger, instantly passed by the elder and hit one of the children. It's a death beam. Kark. The surviving Namek child screamed, and at the same time, the elder was killed by Dodoria. Ah, ah. Wah. Crying in fear, the Namek child screamed and ran away, but was easily caught up by Dodoria. Hee. Dealing with this little thing is easier than crushing a bug to death. Dodoria grinned and raised his left hand. I'll just be kind and let you die quickly. Ha ha ha. Grab it with one claw. Stop. With a loud roar, Sun Wukong flew up, rushed out from the cliff where he was hiding, instantly came to Dodoria's side, and knocked him out with a punch. It crashed directly into the Namek's spaceship. Sun Wufei held back his strength. He controlled his combat power to a level of over 10,000 to avoid attracting Frieza's attention. Go. Glancing at Frieza, Sun Gofei picked up Namek's child, turned around and flew into the sky, shouting to Son Goku who was still in a daze on the cliff, Goku, hurry up. Oh, okay. Son Goku followed in confusion and flew up. The 2 of them flew away with the surviving Namek child, the kings, but their speed was not fast. This was designed by Sun Wufei. You can't fly too fast, and you can't reveal too much of your strength, otherwise Frieza will chase you down himself. Now their strength is not as good as Frieza's, so they can only fight with him in a battle of wits and nature. Damn them, they're not Namek, where did they come from? Dodoria jumped out of the shattered Namek ship, veins throbbing in her forehead. Dodoria, chase them. We must catch them. As expected, the Gofei brothers suppressed their energy and did not reveal their strength, which did not alert Frieza. He simply ordered Dodoria to give chase. Ah. You little bastards, you can't get away. Dodoria's body was covered with atomized gas, and he flew into the air, chasing after Son Goku and Son Goku at high speed. I have to go out for something, and the remaining 2 chapters will be after 9 p.m. Chapter 105. That fat guy is catching up. Son Goku glanced behind him, I'll take care of him. Sun Wufei shook his head, we are still too close to Frieza. At this distance, he can get here quickly. Leave him far away first and then deal with him properly. Brother, didn't you just say that you could use Dragon Ball to revive the people who were killed and asked me to be patient? Why did you do it? Because they even kill children, I can't stand it anymore. As Sun Wufei spoke, he glanced down at the Namek child in his arms, who was also looking at him. Son Goku knew that Dende had heard all the conversations between him and Son Goku. That's right. This surviving Namek child is the future god of Earth. An intelligent Namek with extraordinary abilities in Dragon Ball creation. Son Gofei took action, not only because he couldn't stand Frieza and the others not even letting children go, but also because he wanted to save Dende. Because Dende is the key that the Namek Elder is willing to develop their potential power for them. After flying for a while. We're almost there. Sun Wufei stopped. Not far ahead, he could smell Vegeta's presence. 543 perhaps, it's time to lure Vegeta over here. Goku, take care of him. Son Goku then handed Dende over to Son Goku's care and flew off towards Dodoria. Woo! Dodoria stopped a few meters away from Sun Wufei, floating in the air, looking at Sun Wufei with a cruel and complacent grin on her face. Run again. Why don't you run away? You think it's impossible to escape from me, right? If you dare to kick my face, Master Dodoria, I will make you know what fear and despair are. Sun Wufei laughed, I think you made a mistake. What? Dodoria's expression changed. I'm not running away, I'm just luring you here. A cold murderous look appeared on Sun Wufei's face. I just don't want to fight Frieza for the time being. At this distance, he won't even notice if I kill you. Your detectors are all destroyed. I can see it clearly. Sun Wufei's words made Dodoria stunned, and then burst into laughter. Kill me? Are you kidding? You are a piece of trash with a combat power of only 10,000, and you dare to say that you want to kill me? CDD, Dodoria. Dodoria's face was full of ferocity and ridicule. You are so ignorant and fearless. You still want to fight with Lord Frieza? Lord Frieza can crush you to death with just one little finger like crushing a bug. After a pause, he continued, no. There's no need for Lord Frieza to do anything. I will kill you right away like I would an ant. Boy, wake up! Dodoria yelled and suddenly rushed towards Sun Wuofei, with his right hand in the shape of a knife, slashing towards Sun Wuofei's neck. Call. A finger blocked Dodoria's knife. It's Sun Wuofei's finger. Sun Wuofei blocked Dodoria's knife attack with just one index finger. Impossible. Dodoria was shocked, cold sweat oozing from her forehead, and she continued to attack more quickly. But, without exception, all the attacks were blocked by Sun Wuofei with just one finger. In fact, Sun Wuofei didn't even move a single step. RRR. Dodoria retreated a long way with horror on her face. This is impossible. Your fighting power should only be 10 times that of the original. Idiot. If I show my true strength, it won't be you who will catch up with me, but Frieza. Sun Wuofei had a strange look on his face, and he glanced to the right behind Dodoria. Vegeta was attracted to him. Well, it's time to end this game. Wow, The fear on Dodoria's face grew more and more, and finally he turned around with a strange cry and ran towards Luffy who had come. Don't you think it's too late to run away now? Sun Wuofei shook his head slightly, and the next moment he disappeared and appeared in front of Dodoria. Dodoria's whole body was shaking, and he turned around to escape. Suddenly, a golden beam shot out from Sun Wuofei's fingertips and pierced his head. This scene was seen clearly by Vegeta who was flying over at high speed. It's really Castle. Dodoria was killed by him. Feeling the terrifying aura from Sun Wuofei, Vegeta's face changed several times, and he couldn't help but turn on the combat power detector on his left eye. He has already learned to control and sense chi, and the reason he kept this combat power detector was just to eavesdrop on the news of Frieza and others through the communication function. But at this moment, he couldn't help but check Sun Wuofei's combat power through the combat power detector. 300,000. The value displayed in the combat power detector made Vegeta feel like he was struck by thunder. This is Sun Wuofei's normal combat power. Its true combat power will only be higher than this value. A hole. How on earth did this guy Castle practice? Vegeta gritted his teeth and glanced at Son Goku in the distance. Kakarot is not surprised by the fighting power shown by Castle. He may have reached a considerable level. Damn it! Why? Why were we surpassed by these two brothers again? And by such a huge margin? Vegeta remembered what Sun Wuofei said to him when he left Earth, no matter how strong you become, we will always be stronger than you. This statement, which sounded so arrogant and ridiculous to him at the time, actually came true. Vegeta, life is full of ups and downs. I didn't expect that we would meet again so soon. Sun Wuofei's voice came over. Vegeta turned off the combat power detector, he didn't want Frieza to hear his news. Then, he flew over with a gloomy face. Castle, Kakarot, why are you here? This is Namek, extremely far away from the Earth. Vegeta doesn't understand how the brothers Wuofei appeared here. Moreover, the combat effectiveness has increased so terribly. We are here for the reason you came here. You're here for Dragon Ball? Isn't there Dragon Ball on Earth? Why are you here? Vegeta, you still have the nerve to ask that. If you hadn't killed Jiaozi, we wouldn't be here. Earth's Dragon Ball has limited power and can't revive someone with a damaged body, but Namek's Dragon Ball is different. Son Goku listened to the conversation between Vegeta and Sun Wuofei and felt strange. Why did his brother talk so much to Vegeta? Could it be that he wants to win over Vegeta? Chapter 106. I haven't seen you for a while, Vegeta, your strength has improved a lot. Sun Wuofei changed the subject, looked Vegeta up and down, and chuckled. Your current combat power should be around 110,000, right? Vegeta's heart sank. His fighting power was indeed 110,000. Sun Wuofei's eyes are so poisonous. Casel, what exactly do you want to say? Vegeta stared at Sun Wuofei and asked in a deep voice. Vegeta was sure that Sun Wuofei didn't want to attack him, otherwise he wouldn't have wasted his time talking to him and even praised his fighting ability. Although such words of praise sounded more like ridicule to Vegeta. Sun Wufei must have other intentions. Let's be frank. My goal is simple, alliance. Looking at Vegeta's expression, Sun Wufei wanted to say a few more words, but he swallowed them back and spoke directly. Vegeta is not Son Goku. He is very smart. When talking to smart people, it is best to avoid beating around the bush and just say what you want to say directly. The effect will be better. Alliance. Vegeta's expression changed, a little surprised. You said, you want to form an alliance with me. It's not me and you, it's us and you. Sun Gofei corrected Vegeta's wording. Besides Goku and I, Piccolo, Krillin, and Gohan are here too, and they are now collecting Dragon Balls. Collecting Dragon Balls? Vegeta frowned slightly. You mean the remaining 2 Dragon Balls? That's right. Sun Gofei nodded. Frieza already has 5 Dragon Balls in his hands. I believe you know this, and their combat power detector has been destroyed. They can't effectively search for the remaining 2 Dragon Balls in a short period of time. We have the Dragon Ball radar in our hands, so we can definitely get the 2 Dragon Balls faster than them. As long as the 7 Dragon Balls are not gathered together, they are useless. So, we still have the advantage. Sun Gofei's words made Vegeta silent. Indeed, with the Dragon Ball radar in hand, the remaining 2 Dragon Balls would have been found by Sun Gofei and his companions first. But Vegeta didn't understand, this kind of thing could be done by Sun Gofei and his friends themselves. Why did they need to seek an alliance with him? Vegeta thought so and asked the same question. It's simple. Because you are an important force in fighting against Frieza. Sun Gofei said, until one of us transforms into a Super Saiyan, no one can deal with Frieza on his own. So, we need your strength. Super Saiyan? Vegeta's expression changed completely, and he looked shocked. What did you say just now? Super Saiyan's transformation? Do you know anything about Super Saiyan? Super Saiyan has always been a legend of the Saiyan clan, but we only know that Super Saiyan appears once every 1,000 years, but no one knows what it is exactly. But from what Sun Wufei said, he seemed to know a lot about Super Saiyan. What was going on? Sun Wufei is just a low-ranking soldier, how could he know such a secret that even he, the Saiyan Prince, doesn't know? Certainly. Sun Wufei showed a strange smile on his face, and pointed at himself with his right thumb. Not only do I know about Super Saiyan, but I also know how to transform into a Super Saiyan. Vegeta, you may not know that as long as you can transform into a Super Saiyan, your combat power can be increased 50 times. 50 times. Vegeta was completely shocked. Great Ape's transformation can only increase his combat power tenfold, but that's already pretty amazing. What does 50 times mean? That means his current combat power of 110,000 can be increased to 5.5 million. If that's the case, what's there to be afraid of, Frieza or the Emperor of the Universe? All must surrender at the feet of King Vegeta. Vegeta's eyes revealed a hint of fanaticism and greed. Sun Wufei knew that this guy was moved. Why do you know the secret of Super Saiyan transformation? Although he was extremely eager to learn how to transform into a Super Saiyan, Vegeta still had some doubts. Whether it is Son Goku or Sun Wufei, their current combat power is far superior to his, and Sun Gofei also claims to know the Super Saiyan transformation method. If that's the case, why would we ally with him? Can't they just transform themselves into Super Saiyan? My brother has the ability to predict the future. This is what he predicted. Sun Wufei flew over with Dende and spoke. Predict the future? Vegeta was shocked again. Does Sun Wufei really possess such a magical ability? So he foresaw the method of transforming into a Super Saiyan, and that's why he wanted to cooperate with me? Could it be that the person who can transform into a Super Saiyan and defeat Frieza is me? A thought suddenly flashed through Vegeta's mind, and he suddenly became excited to get up. That's right. It definitely is. Sun Gofei must have foreseen that he would become a Super Saiyan and kill Frieza, which is why he came to discuss the alliance with him in advance. When Sun Wufei saw the ecstasy on Vegeta's face, combined with Vegeta's arrogant and conceited personality, he immediately understood that this guy must have had his mind blown. Vegeta, I think you may have misunderstood. I asked you to cooperate only because you have great potential and can help a lot in dealing with Frieza. It doesn't mean that only you can become a Super Saiyan. Sun Gofei's words directly revealed what Vegeta was thinking, and then he raised a finger and said, let me tell you a necessary condition for transforming into a Super Saiyan. The combat power must reach at least 3 million. 3 million combat power? How is that possible? Vegeta felt like a bolt from the blue, hitting him on the head. Frieza doesn't have such high fighting power. Yes, Frieza's first form does only have a combat power of 530,000, but he can transform. Sun Wufei raised his lip. Every time he transforms, his combat power will surge, and he can transform 3 times. His final form after the third transformation is completely full of combat power. A full 120 million. Only by reaching the minimum combat power limit of Super Saiyan transformation, 3 million combat power, and increasing it 50 times after transformation, reaching 150 million combat power, can Frieza be defeated. 120 million combat power. 3 million combat power, 50 times combat power increase, 150 million. These numbers kept flashing back and forth in Vegeta's mind, and he suddenly felt as if his worldview had been overturned. So, you want me to form an alliance with you and fight against Frieza together before I reach 3 million combat power? Hey, smart spoon! Chapter 107. 3 million combat power is not so easy to achieve. Vegeta looked at Son Goku with a hint of hesitation in his eyes. Of course I know this, so you don't have to worry about it. You just need to answer whether you agree to the alliance or not. Sun Wufei said. Vegeta smiled, I agree to the alliance. Is it that straightforward? Sun Wufei was a little stunned. He originally thought that Vegeta would make some more conditions, but he didn't expect him to agree so quickly. Many of the words he had prepared were completely useless. Under the current circumstances, agreeing to form an alliance seems to be the best option for me, right? Vegeta smiled strangely. You two brothers are stronger than me now, you have Dragon Ball radar, and you know how to transform into Super Saiyan. Plus the threat of that monster Frieza, no matter how you look at it, it's more cost-effective to form an alliance with you. After a pause, Vegeta 23 looked at the happy Son Goku and stretched out his hand. Hey, don't get me wrong. I'm only forming an alliance with you temporarily to deal with that guy Frieza. Don't be so naive to think that we have become friends. Son Goku was stunned. Hasn't this guy given up the idea of attacking the Earth? Sun Wufei smiled indifferently. What a coincidence. I thought so too. Currently, Vegeta only cooperates with the alliance because they have a common and powerful enemy, but it is hard to say what will happen in the future. However, Vegeta's original intention is not that evil. His bellicosity and cruelty are just driven by Saiyans' nature. In the original novel, he was influenced by Son Goku and eventually became the wife-loving and tsundere prince who attracted countless fans. In this life, Son Goku believes that the two brothers can do the same. What exactly are you guys trying to do by coming to Namek to find Dragon Ball? At this time, Dende, who had been observing silently, finally opened his mouth to ask. Well, let's go back to the cave where we are staying first. Maybe Krillin and the others have already found the Dragon Ball. Sun Wufei scratched his head and led the way to fly towards the destination. The universal capsule house in the cave was empty. It looked like Krillin, Piccolo, and Gohan hadn't returned yet. Sun Wufei explained the reasons why they knew Namek and came to Namek from Earth. Here's the thing. Earth's Dragon Ball has limited power. There's no way to revive someone with a damaged body. We can only rely on Namek's Dragon Ball. Dende's face showed a look of realization, so that's how it is. Then isn't he the villain who invaded the Earth? Why do you want to form an alliance with him? Because we have a common and powerful enemy. Sun Wufei said, you've also seen him, the guy sitting in the circular aircraft, the Universe Emperor Frieza. His power is too strong. We need more power to fight him together. Son Goku also spoke up, Vegeta is very strong. With his help, we will be more confident in dealing with Frieza. Dende, don't worry. Vegeta won't do evil again because we two brothers will restrain him. Sun Wufei said with a smile, his words full of confidence. Dende was speechless. After a while of silence, he accepted it and looked up at Son Goku and said, I'll take you to find the Great Elder. Looking for the Great Elder? What for? Is he in danger and needs our rescue? Sun Wufei asked knowingly. Dende shook his head. The Great Elder is the father of all of us in Namek. All of us in Namek are his children. Before, due to abnormal climate, he was the only one who survived, so we had to rely on him to continue to reproduce. Well, Dende, I know you Nameeks can reproduce by laying eggs in your mouth, but can you please get to the point? Why are we going to see the Great Elder? Sun Wufei interrupted Dende, saying there was no need to waste time on such meaningless words. Because the Great Elder has a Dragon Ball. Dende said, Mr. Gofei, you said that your nephew and his companions have a Dragon Ball radar that can track Dragon Balls, so they will definitely go to the Great Elder. Let's go and meet them. Dende, are you worried that if the Great Elder doesn't give them the Dragon Ball, they will snatch it away? Son Goku touched his nose. Don't worry, Gohan and Krillin are both kind-hearted people, they won't do bad things, and Piccolo is originally a Namek, so he shouldn't be rejected. No, that's not it. Dende was anxious. I want to ask the Great Elder to stimulate your potential power. Hey, you finally said it, that's what I wanted you to say. Sun Wufei was secretly delighted, but then he heard Dende continue, aren't you going to fight that bad guy Frieza? And everyone says he's very strong, stronger than all of you, so you need to unleash your potential. Our Namek's Great Elder has a magical power. No matter how much potential you have in your body, he can trigger it. I think it should make you stronger. Really? Vegeta grabbed Dende's shoulders and lifted him up. Does the Great Elder you mentioned really have such ability? You, what are you doing? Let me go. It hurts. Vegeta used too much strength due to his excitement, and Joe screamed in pain. Vegeta, put him down. Sun Wufei moved, grabbed Vegeta's right hand, pried it apart, and put Dende down. DE207 won't lie. There's no need to lie. Since he said that the Great Elder has this ability, then he must have it. Let's just follow him and take a look. And there's a Dragon Ball in the hands of the Great Elder. No matter what, we must get it before Frieza does. Time is running out, let's go. Sun Wufei said as he carried Dende out of the cave, and the three of them took off into the air, flying as fast as they could towards where the Elder was. At this time, Frieza was returning to his universe spaceship with 5 Dragon Balls. Sabo and another of his men were sent out to find the remaining 2 Dragon Balls. Because the combat power detectors were all destroyed by Namek's elders before they died, the Frieza core was temporarily unable to find energy reactions, so Sabo could only search around Namek aimlessly. As luck would have it, he caught a glimpse of Sun Wufei and his group flying across the sky at high speed from afar. That's Vegeta. And the guy who attacked Dodoria earlier. They are indeed in the same group. Sabo's eyes suddenly widened. I didn't see Dodoria. Could he have been killed? By the way, if I kill them all, it will be a great achievement, haha. Laughing loudly, Sabo flew towards Sun Wukong and the others. Chapter 108. This energy. Sabo. Vegeta was the first to notice Sabo, and Son Goku also noticed it. It's the guy next to Frieza. Son Goku smirked, Vegeta, he seems to be coming for you. That may not be the case. You killed Dodoria and even took her body. I think he might be coming for you. Vegeta shrugged. To be honest, he didn't quite understand why Sun Wufei roasted Dodoria's body and then turned it into ashes. In his opinion, this was simply a waste of effort. Sun Goku did not tell Vegeta about the absorption of vitality. Although they are allies now, they cannot be said to have a very close relationship. However, absorbing the vitality from Dodoria's body allowed Sun Goku to confirm one thing. That is, the more powerful the creature is after death, the more vital energy the body can extract, and the higher the level of vital energy. The energy extracted from Dodoria, combined with the energy extracted from the previous few soldiers of Frieza's army, allowed Sun King Fei to increase his potential value tenfold to the light orange legendary level. His current potential value is the highest among everyone. Vegeta's potential value is also very high. He is worthy of being a genius of the Scion clan. Without any gold finger enhancement, he has reached the purple epic level. In the original work, if Son Goku hadn't had so many adventures, met famous teachers one after another, and hadn't been protected by the hero's halo, he might not have been able to beat him. Vegeta, you really teamed up with this group of people. Where's Dodoria? Was he besieged and killed by you? Sabo rushed forward, stopped a few meters away from Sun Wufei and the others, and questioned. Dodoria? Is it worth our cooperation to deal with that piece of trash? Castle can easily kill him by himself. Vegeta snorted disdainfully, pointed at Sun Wufei and said, "Oh, there's not even a corpse left. But you don't have to worry, you'll find him in the underworld soon." "What did you say?" Sabo glanced at Sun Wufei and said, "You said Sabo was killed by this guy? What a joke. This guy only has a combat power of 10,000, how could he possibly kill Sabo?" "Vegeta, even though I hate you, I always thought you were a brave guy. I didn't expect you to kill someone but not admit it. But it doesn't matter. I will kill you soon and bring all your corpses back to King Frieza." Vegeta was so angry that he laughed. It seems that ignorance is really fearless. Castle, there are so many idiots in this world. They can't even see the difference in strength between the two sides when they are about to die. I want this guy's life. Don't fight with me, you two brothers. I want him to know what an absolute gap is. Okay. I'll give it to you. Sun Wufei shrugged, "But leave his body to me, I can use it." "It works." Vegeta looked a little strange. "Your hobby is really unique, you actually like to destroy corpses." "Okay, I will try to be gentle and leave you a whole body." The conversation between Sun Gofei and Vegeta made Sabo's face darken. What do these two guys think of him? Fish on the cutting board? "Vegeta, I'll show you how powerful I am. Take that." With a loud roar, Sabo rushed towards Vegeta and attacked with his fists. Swish! "It's empty. I didn't even touch the corner of my clothes." Sabo glanced to the left and kicked sideways. Vegeta appeared just to his left. But the kick still missed, and with a pop, Vegeta raised his hand and caught it steadily. Bone! Sabo struggled hard, trying to free his feet from Vegeta's grasp, but found it was useless. "Hey hey! DS!" Vegeta showed a grim smile on his face, and suddenly exerted force, throwing it directly into the sky. A hole! Sabo forcibly shook his body to steady himself in the air, and holding his right arm with his left hand, he extended his palm and fired a ki blast at Vegeta. Humph! Such a trifle! Vegeta snorted lightly, his eyes fixed, and he backhandedly cut the side of the ki blast light bullet, directly changing the direction of the light bullet and flying to the lower left. Boom! A huge explosion sounded, and a hemispherical burst of light waves spread from the explosion site. A terrible shock wave accompanied by countless pieces of debris shot out in all directions. "Wow, that's awesome!" In Sun Wufei's arms, Dende had a look of horror on his face. However, there was no change in the expressions on Son Goku and Sun Wufei's faces. An attack of this level was nothing but child's play in their eyes. "Is this all you have? How disappointing!" Vegeta raised his sword-like eyebrows and laughed grimly. "Forget it, I won't waste my time with you. I'll just send you to hell right now." Swish! Before he finished speaking, Vegeta had disappeared. Sabo was startled, but before he could react, he was hit hard on the forehead and felt dizzy. What followed was a series of heavy blows, and finally a hand hammer fell from the sky, directly knocking Sabo to the ground. Boom! A huge deep pit was dug on the ground. Sabo was covered in blood and struggled to get up. "Vegeta, you have indeed become much stronger. But after being hit by you, the dormant power in my body has awakened again." "The power that is dormant in your body? Are you saying that you can transform just like Frieza?" Vegeta was slightly stunned when he heard this, then sneered with disdain. "Sure enough, Frieza's lackey is the same type as him. Did you know that Frieza-sama is a transforming universe man?" Sabo was shocked, obviously not expecting Vegeta to know that Frieza could transform. But he immediately suppressed his surprise. "Zhao Zhao, well, then I don't need to explain to you anymore. Originally, in order to maintain my beautiful appearance, I didn't want to undergo such an ugly transformation, but now it seems there is no other way." Before he finished speaking, Sabo's body suddenly swelled, becoming taller and bigger, his face became extremely ugly, and his aura suddenly became much stronger. However, in the eyes of Son Goku and Son Goku, he is still far inferior to Vegeta. Vegeta could have killed Sabo with one move, but he chose not to kill him. It was obvious that he was playing a trick on him. "Vegeta, time is running out, stop playing, we have to get to the Great Elder." Son Goku was watching with great interest, but Wufei was getting a little impatient. "Play." The smile on Sabo's face suddenly faded. "You actually said he was playing." The next moment, his expression changed, because Vegeta's figure disappeared. And he didn't see it at all. Chapter 109. Snap! An arm burst out from Sabo's right chest. It's Vegeta's arm. Vegeta, without knowing when, had already run behind Sabo and shot Sabo through. You, what are you doing? Sabo opened his mouth, but a large amount of blood spurted out. Are you surprised? Vegeta sneered, Sabo, you guys have been living in comfort for too long. You haven't made any progress at all, and you don't even know what it means to control your combat power at will. Let me tell you, I can freely control the energy in my body to hide or release my fighting power. I learned this trick from the people on Earth. My current strength is far superior to yours, idiot. Now, you can die in peace. Vegeta placed his other hand on Sabo's back, and Sabo panicked, wait a minute, Shigeta. Oh? Any last words? Please, please don't kill me. I actually hate Frieza too. But he's too powerful, I don't dare to resist. Sabo showed a false smile on his face, how about we join forces? I believe that as long as we join forces, we will definitely be able to defeat him. Well, you will need me as an ally. Before Sabo could finish his words, a powerful energy wave burst out from Vegeta's palm, piercing through half of his body where his heart was. His broken body was knocked far away and fell heavily to the ground. Hang up. Join hands with me? Humph. With your pitiful strength, you are not worthy. Vegeta spat in disdain and looked up at Son Goku. Sorry, I used too much force, but there's still half a corpse left, so it should be enough for you to vent your anger. Son Goku shook his head speechlessly. He was not trying to vent his perverted desire to torture corpses. What he wanted was the vitality contained in Sabo's body. It's a pity that Vegeta was too heavy-handed and destroyed half of Sabo's body. What a waste. Sighing in his heart, Son Goku put Dende down, then roasted Sabo's remains with ease and absorbed his vitality with his golden finger. Although it was only a small half of his body, the amount of vitality he had absorbed was greater than what he had absorbed from Dodoria. Unfortunately, after trying for a while, Son Goku found that the level of these vital energies was not high enough and he could not increase his potential value any further. Forget it, let's give it to Son Goku. Son Goku called up Son Goku's light curtain pattern, and raised Son Goku's potential value to the light orange legendary level. Likewise, there is no way to improve it any further. He still had a little bit of energy left, and he added it all to his own stamina, with basically no change. Only he himself can see this process. Including Son Goku, whose potential value was increased, he just felt that there seemed to be some inexplicable changes in his body, and he didn't know that it was Son Goku who was helping him increase his potential value. Goku is only slightly lower than me in terms of potential, stamina, and strength. If nothing unexpected happens, we should both break through and transform into Super Saiyans. Son Goku thought to himself, I must find a chance to go to Idrit and learn the instant transmission and fusion techniques. The reason why Son Goku has been raising Son Goku's potential and stamina to a level similar to his is not only because Son Goku is the protagonist of the Dragon Ball world and they are twin brothers, but also because of the fusion technique. The fusion technique requires that both parties be of similar height, body shape, and energy, which can be said to be the most suitable for the brothers Son Goku and Son Goku. The two are twin brothers. Not only their height and body shape, but their appearance is exactly the same. As long as the strength is similar, fusion is the most convenient to use. Even Son Goku has already made plans. If his appearance causes the butterfly wings to flap, making it impossible to transform into a Super Saiyan during this trip to Namek, then he will steal the universe spaceship of the Jinyu Force and run to Idrit to learn instant transmission and fusion techniques. In that case, after he fuses with Son Goku, he should be able to fight Frieza even without transforming. Of course, this is the worst option. As long as there is an opportunity to break through and transform, you should strive for it. After all, he has been reborn into this world, so he can't let his brother Son Goku suffer worse than in the original story, right? Then he is a failure as a time traveler, isn't he? Brother, what are you thinking about? Seeing the changing expressions on Son Goku's face, sometimes he clenched his fists tightly, and sometimes he looked very confident. Son Goku of the 10 Emperors finally couldn't help but ask. K-Cell, are you ready? Aren't you told that time is tight? Do you still have the time to sit here and stare blankly? Vegeta urged impatiently. Nothing, let's go. Son Goku picked up the stunt Dende, flew into the air, and continued to fly towards the residence of the Great Elder. Mr. Wu Fei, what on earth is he doing? He seems to have absorbed some kind of power from the corpse. Dende's brow furrowed slightly. Unlike Vegeta, he didn't think that Son Goku had any habit of abusing corpses. Just now, he clearly felt a strange power being extracted from Sabo's body, and then Sabo's body turned into ashes. But Dende had never seen this kind of power before. It seems that Mr. Wu Fei also has some strange abilities. In Frieza's universe spaceship, Sabo has been out for a long time and there has been no news from him. Frieza suddenly felt a little uneasy. A bad premonition rose in his heart. After thinking about it, Lisa gave the order, send a message to the Jinyu force, have them come to Namek with the latest combat power detectors. Yes, King Frieza. Looking at the sky outside the universe ship, Frieza looked solemn. Strange, I always feel that there will be a scion who can threaten me. Could it be Vegeta? Then, his eyes fell on the 5 Dragon Balls beside him. Fortunately, these 5 Dragon Balls are still here with me. If it is really Vegeta, he will come to me sooner or later to snatch the Dragon Balls. I'll be waiting here on the spaceship, waiting for him to fall into my trap. 5 days, it only takes 5 days for the Jinyu force to arrive. By then, I won't have to do anything. They will naturally bring the remaining 2 Dragon Balls to me. I, Frieza, will definitely be able to realize my wish of immortality and become the sole overlord of this universe, ha 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 ha. Loud laughter spread far from the universe spaceship. After several hours of flying, Sun Wufei and his companions finally arrived at the residence of the Great Elder, a house on the top of the highest mountain in Namek. Chapter 110. Snap. As soon as Sun Wufei and his 3 companions landed outside the Great Elder's universe spaceship, the hatch opened. A guy who looked very similar to Piccolo came out. Neil. Dende smiled happily, I'm glad you're safe. Dende, you're here. The Great Elder already knows the situation. Please come in, the Great Elder wants to see you. Neil said calmly, pointing to the hatch. Wow. He looks exactly like Piccolo. They look like they were cut from the same mold. Son Goku looked at Neil in surprise. There was also surprise in Sun Wufei's eyes. Although Namek people all look similar, it is rare to see people who look so similar as Piccolo and Neil. If you don't know them, you might think they are twin brothers. Neil and Piccolo are both combat-type Namek people, 437, and they are geniuses among them. Piccolo's potential value has dropped significantly because he and the Immortal separated into 2 people. Sun Wufei explained in a low voice, and then asked Neil, excuse me, have people from Earth come here before us? Earthling? No. Neil shook his head. It looks like Krillin and the others haven't arrived yet. Sun Wufei frowned slightly. Could something have happened? But with the current fighting power of Krillin and the other 2, they should be safe in Namek as long as they don't encounter Frieza. Maybe he was delayed by something. Thinking in his mind, Sun Wufei and a few others followed Neil into the spaceship and came to the upper level. Wow! So big! Is this the Great Elder? Much bigger than the average Namek. Son Goku glanced at the Great Elder who was sitting in the middle, with a look of surprise on his face. No wonder they say that all Namek people are the Great Elder's children. With a body shape like this, well, it is indeed possible. Bang! Son Goku received a slap on the forehead from Son Goku. What are you talking about, brat? After paying his respects to the elder, Sun Wufei smiled politely and said, Elder, Goku has a simple mind and no ill intentions. Please don't mind. There is no harm in maintaining enough respect for those who are stronger than you. Of course, respect is enough, and there is no need for flattery. Don't be nervous. I can feel that you 2 brothers are kind people, cough cough cough. The Great Elder laughed and suddenly coughed a few times. Great Elder, are you okay? Neil and Dende looked nervous. It's okay, don't worry. The Elder panted for a while, and his breathing gradually stabilized. I know I only have a few days left to live. This is a natural change. There is no need to be sad. You guys are here for Dragon Ball, right? That's right. Sun Goku nodded, we need Dragon Ball to summon Shenron Porunga to revive our comrades whose bodies are broken. The Dragon Ball on Earth has limited abilities and cannot revive those whose bodies are damaged. What? Earth also has Dragon Ball. The Great Elder was obviously very surprised and waved towards Sun Wufei. Can you come over here for a moment? I want to explore the relevant memories. Asterisk. Sun Wufei was a little hesitant. He had a lot of secrets. What if the Great Elder found out? But soon, he gritted his teeth, nodded, and walked forward. If he wanted the Great Elder to unleash his inner potential, he had to pass this level. If he refused or showed cowardice, the Great Elder might refuse to develop his potential power. Let's give it a try. Before, Immortal Karin, the gods, and King Kai were all unable to detect his thoughts, and perhaps this Great Elder Namek can't do it either. The Great Elder placed his hand on Sun Wufei's head and sensed it for a moment. Hey! The Great Elder uttered a light exclamation. What's wrong? Sun Wufei's heart tightened. Was he discovered? Strange, I can't find any memory. This is the first time this has happened. The Great Elder murmured, and Sun Wufei secretly breathed a sigh of relief. I didn't find anything, luckily it's okay. You. The Elder changed the subject and said, the power hidden in your body is really amazing, far beyond my imagination. Really? Sun Wufei was overjoyed. Mr. Goku, please come here. The Great Elder turned his gaze to Son Goku. Me? The Great Elder nodded. Son Goku scratched his head and walked up, and the Elder also put his palm on his head and carved it. I see, that's what's going on. The Elder nodded, well, your wishes are all good, Dragon Ball can give you. Great. Son Goku was delighted. That guy named Frieza is indeed quite terrifying. Perhaps, only you can stop him. Like your brother, you also possess extremely powerful potential. Let me help you draw it out. As the Great Elder spoke, his superpowers were activated, and a terrifying aura suddenly rose from Son Goku's body. Nearly 10 times stronger than Son Goku's original ki. What kind of power is this? It's so terrifying. There was a sudden storm in the room, Vegeta's eyes widened and his whole body began to tremble. Kakarot. His fighting power is 520 squares. Vegeta couldn't help but turn on the combat power detector, and the number he read out made him feel completely overwhelmed. Son Goku's combat power has reached 5.2 million. Vegeta almost screamed. Fortunately, he still retained his sanity and turned off the combat power detector. Otherwise, with the communication capability of the detector, Frieza's army might have heard it. By then, the news will definitely reach Namek Frieza's ears. What a powerful force! Do I have such a powerful potential? Son Goku himself couldn't keep calm. Even he himself did not expect that the power hidden in his body was so great. Son Goku is the calmest, only 4.8. He knows best that Son Goku's potential is the same as his, with a light orange legendary potential. Of course, the potential power in his body is huge. It's my turn. Great Elder, thank you for your help. Sun Wufei stood in front of the Great Elder. A moment later, an equally powerful surge of energy emanated from the room, but it quickly subsided. Son Goku is already prepared, and of course he won't show off his strength foolishly like Son Goku. And he also reminded Son Goku to hold his energy. However, these two powerful forces were still transmitted. In the distance, Krillin, Piccolo, and Son Gohan were flying towards the Great Elder's residence. Suddenly, the three of them were shocked and stopped with horror on their faces. Such a strong aura! And it looks so familiar. Is this Goku? There's still the boss's energy. How can it be so strong? Chapter 111. The powerful aura, although far away, seemed to be right in front of them. The feeling that it was about to crush everything made Krillin and the other two tremble all over. But this atmosphere soon disappeared. If Krillin and the other two hadn't sensed it at the same time, they would have probably thought they were hallucinating. Something big must have happened to the Great Elder. Hurry up, let's get there. Son Gohan and his friends have already obtained the 6th Dragon Ball, and learned from the Namek people who gave them the Dragon Ball that the last Dragon Ball is in the hands of the Great Elder. But how come Son Goku and Son Wufei also went to the Great Elder? How strange! Here, Krillin and the other two were speeding towards the Great Elder's universe spaceship residence. On the second floor of the spaceship, Vegeta was glaring at the Great Elder with an angry look on his face, his whole body shaking uncontrollably. Why? You helped both of them develop their potential, why can't you help me? After witnessing the terrifying fighting power of the brothers Son Goku and Son Wufei after they developed all the potential power in their bodies, Vegeta was also looking forward to seeing how much potential power he had. In his opinion, he is much more talented than lower-level fighters like the Son Wufei brothers. But the Great Elder refused to help him develop his potential power. Vegeta is angry. Son Wufei and Son Goku's original fighting power was higher than his, and now after developing their potential, they are as strong as monsters, leaving him far behind. If the potential power in his body cannot be developed, is he still qualified to form an alliance with these two brothers? The other party could probably kill him with just a flick of his little finger. There is evil in your aura. And I have learned from Mr. Goku's memories that it was because of your invasion that his companions were killed, forcing them to come to Namek to find the Dragon Ball. The elder said slowly, I can't help a bad guy like you. A hole. You a hole. Vegeta couldn't help it, and gathered the energy on his palms, ready to attack the Great Elder. Neil frowned and stood in front of the Great Elder. Get lost. Vegeta roared, do you want to die? A violent energy suddenly burst out from his body, and because of the anger, it was even more powerful than before. What a strong spirit! This guy is much stronger than me. A drop of sweat oozed out of Neil's forehead, but he still stood in front of the Great Elder without moving an inch. If you want to hurt the Great Elder, you have to step over my dead body. Okay, I'll grant you your wish. Vegeta's eyes were filled with murderous intent, and he suddenly grabbed Neil with his claws. Bang! Sun Wufei took action and grabbed Vegeta's wrist. Vegeta, stop it! Castle, are you going to stop me? Vegeta's face was gloomy. Is this how you treat your allies? I didn't attack you, I just asked you to calm down. Sun Wufei said calmly, to be honest, I didn't expect that the potential power in Goku and I would be so strong. In fact, with our current strength, we can fight Frieza with or without your help. So you want to break the covenant? Vegeta's expression became uglier. He wanted to pull back his hand, but no matter how hard he tried, it didn't move at all. Sun Wufei's current strength is far greater than his. Did I say I wanted to break the covenant? Sun Wufei rolled his eyes. Vegeta, you are the Prince of Sion after all, use your brain to think carefully. If I really want to break the covenant, why would I need to persuade you? Can't I just kill you directly? What do you mean? Vegeta was a little confused. Sun Wufei wanted to continue the alliance, but he tried to stop him. What on earth was this guy thinking? It's very simple. I'll just calm you down and stop fighting. If you want to become a Super Saiyan, you need a basic combat power of 3 million, but there is one more important point. You just need to keep a calm mind. If you are like this, you will never be able to make a breakthrough in your lifetime. Sun Gofei's words instantly dissipated most of Vegeta's anger. A calm heart? Is this another condition for transforming into a Super Saiyan? Most Saiyans have bad tempers and are easily angered. Vegeta is one of the few who has a cool head. No wonder Super Saiyan only exists in legends. According to the Saiyan clan's personality, they don't meet the conditions for Super Saiyan transformation at all. Vegeta took a deep breath, calmed himself down, and regained control of his energy. Okay, I'll listen to you. But you'd better give me an explanation. Otherwise, even if I die in battle, I, King Vegeta, will never accept this humiliation. Sun Wufei laughed. This guy has a really strong self-esteem. But this is also the cute side of Vegeta. Don't worry. Just wait patiently. Sun Wufei curled his lips, turned around and took 2 steps forward, stood in front of the Great Elder, clasped his fists and performed the martial arts etiquette, and said, Grand Elder, thank you for helping us two brothers develop our potential. However, please put aside your prejudices and help Vegeta develop his potential as well. Sun Wufei's actions confused the elder. Why? Mr. Sun Wufei, I can't understand your behavior. This person should be your enemy, why are you helping FTB? Enemy, maybe in the past, but the situation is different now. Sun Wufei shook his head slightly and said sincerely, Frieza is now our common enemy, and an extremely powerful one at that. Although we have developed the potential power in our bodies, I am not completely sure that we can defeat Frieza. So we need to unite all the forces we can. Vegeta was indeed a bad guy in the past, but he was not a pure bad guy who only knew how to kill. Unlike other Saiyans, he was able to control his emotions. I think you, the Great Elder, have also seen this. I have already promised him that we will form an alliance to fight Frieza together. I also believe that there is a powerful force hidden in Vegeta. Making him stronger will do us more good than harm. The elder hesitated. What Sun Wufei said was reasonable and logical, and the elder could understand it. However, understanding was one thing, and being able to accept it was another. Great Elder, please consider the overall situation. We need Vegeta's strength now to deal with Lisa together. If Frieza cannot be defeated, not only Namek and Earth, but the entire universe will suffer. The monthly ticket meets the conditions for additional chapters, so one more chapter will be added tomorrow, for a total of 6 chapters. Thank you all for your support. Chapter 112. Silence. There was silence on the second floor of the spaceship. The Great Elder looked at Sun Wufei, then looked at Vegeta, frowned, and remained silent. Sun Wufei stopped talking and just waited quietly. He knew very well that asking the Great Elder to help Vegeta was tantamount to asking the Great Elder to make an exception, which was actually a bit unreasonable. But for Namek's sake, he believed the Great Elder would agree. Sure enough, after a long silence, the Great Elder sighed and finally nodded, "Okay, I'll make an exception and help him this time." Staring at Vegeta, the Elder's eyes became sharper than ever before. "Young man, I hope you can live up to this trust. There is nothing wrong with pursuing power, but don't get lost in killing and destruction." 2. Vegeta snorted in dissatisfaction and frowned, but still bowed to the Great Elder. The Great Elder had already placed his hand on Vegeta's head, about to draw out the potential power in his body. Sun Wufei suddenly spoke again, "Wait. What? Castle, what do you want to say?" Vegeta's face changed. Did Sun Wufei change his mind? "Great Elder, please wait a moment, I need Vegeta to agree to 2 conditions." The Great Elder nodded upon hearing this and temporarily moved his hand away. Vegeta's face was filled with anger again. "Castle, you want to use this opportunity to blackmail me? It's not a threat, just in case." Sun Wufei held up a finger. "First, I want you to swear on the dignity of a Scion Prince that you will no longer kill Namek people and Earthlings. I think this request is not too much, right?" Vegeta's eyes narrowed. "How do you know if I will keep my promise?" "You will. You may not care about other things, but you value the dignity and pride of Prince Scion more than anything else. I believe you will not break this oath." 78 Numberin. After a short silence, Vegeta nodded and agreed, swearing on the dignity and pride of a Scion Prince that he would never kill Namek people or Earthlings unless threatened. "What is the second condition?" "The second condition is that you cannot wish for immortality from Shenron." "What? Castle, your request is too much." Vegeta was furious when he heard this. "You want to use Shenron to make a wish to revive your friends, but you can't let me become immortal? Then what good will it do for me to work so hard to form an alliance with you and help you? There are so many benefits." Sun Wufei shrugged with a relaxed look on his face. "You have the Great Elder to develop your potential power, and you can also get the method to transform into a Super Saiyan, isn't that enough?" With a serious look on his face, Sun Wufei said seriously, "Vegeta, this condition of mine is also for your own good." "For my own good, do you think I'm a 3-year-old?" Vegeta sneered. "It's for your own good. Immortality is indeed tempting, but if you really have immortality, will you continue to work hard? Without pressure, there is no motivation. When you face a powerful opponent, you will only think about using your immortality to wear down the opponent, and will never think about how to surpass the opponent. And in my opinion, the immortality obtained by relying on Shenron is not absolute." Vegeta's expression changed. "Why do you say that?" "Because this immortality was granted by Shenron, Shenron's power is limited." Sun Wufei said, "If one day you encounter a destructive force that exceeds the limit of Shenron's power, your immortal body will also be broken. If you don't believe me, you can ask the Great Elder." Vegeta heard this and turned his glare towards the Great Elder. "Mr. Wufei is right. There is no such thing as absolute immortality." The Great Elder nodded. "Shenron was created by me, and he cannot fulfill any wish that is beyond my power. It is true that one can be immortal, but that is only for ordinary attacks. Facing the power of God." The Great Elder did not continue speaking. Some things were too early for Sun Wufei and the others to say, and they would not understand even if he told them. The power of God. Indeed, everyone looked confused, but Sun Wufei was an exception. Didn't Son Goku and Vegeta in Dragon Ball Super advance to become Super Saiyan God? Gods of Destruction Beerus, Angel Whis, and others possess the power of God. According to the Great Elder, the power of Dragon Ball should also be divine power, the divine power belonging to the dragon god Salama. All Namek people are followers of the dragon god, so they inherited part of the power of the dragon god used to create the Dragon Ball. Of course, the power of the Shenron summoned by the Dragon Ball will be limited by the creator. Even the power of Shenron Porunga, summoned by Namek's Dragon Ball, is similarly limited, constrained by the power of the dragon god that the Great Elder can wield. Others did not understand this, but Sun Wufei was very clear about it. Of course, he won't say these words out loud, just understand them yourself. Vegeta, do you understand now? There is no such thing as absolute immortality, so instead of relying on Shenron's power, you might as well improve your own strength, transform into a Super Saiyan, and defeat Frieza with your true strength. Vegeta was silent. Sun Wufei's words touched him deeply. In his heart, the self-esteem and pride that belonged to Prince Saiyan surged again. Okay, I agree to this condition. You guys decide what to do with Dragon Ball wishes. Vegeta looked at Sun Wufei, but Castle, you must tell me how to transform into a Super Saiyan, and you can't keep it secret. No problem. Sun Wufei smiled and agreed readily. Even if he didn't tell him, Vegeta would have figured out the trick to transform into a Super Saiyan sooner or later. It wasn't a high-tech thing, it's just that the timing was not right and no one had discovered it. The Great Elder placed his hand on Vegeta's head again, drawing out Vegeta's latent power just as he had done with the brothers Son Goku and Son Goku. 3.5 million combat power. This is Vegeta's hidden power. An extremely powerful aura was surging through Vegeta's body, but Vegeta's face did not look good. To be honest, the power hidden in his body is already quite strong, 30 times his original strength. But it pales in comparison to the brothers Son Goku and Son Goku. My hidden power is not as good as Castle and Kakarot. Damn it! In his excitement, Vegeta failed to control the power in his body and the entire universe ship began to shake. Sun Wufei quickly stood in front of the Great Elder and held up a wall of energy to resist the impact of Vegeta's energy. Vegeta, hold your anger back, do you want to end the life of the Great Elder prematurely? Chapter 113. Snort. Vegeta snorted angrily, looking at the Great Elder behind Son Goku and Neil and Dende who looked terrified behind Son Goku, but he held his anger. Vegeta, the training we brothers have gone through is definitely more rigorous than yours. So our strength is stronger than yours. Sun Wufei breathed a sigh of relief and consoled him, but this is not absolute, as long as you work hard, you may not be unable to catch up with us. After a pause, he added, of course, we won't just stay where we are and wait for you to catch up, hehe. This BD. Vegeta was angry and groaned. He turned around and punched a hole in the wall of the universe spaceship, sending it flying. Just then, 3 figures flew over from a distance. They were Piccolo, Krillin, and Son Gohan. It's really Vegeta. How could his 333 chi become so terrible? What on earth happened here? Feeling the terrifyingly powerful aura of the Sun Wufei brothers, the 3 of them accelerated towards the residence of the Great Elder, but before they arrived, they sensed Vegeta's surging energy. Although it is weaker than the Sun Wufei brothers, it is still terrifying enough. What on earth happened here, Great Elder? Why are they all so angry? They're all here. Vegeta's eyes fell on the 3 people, and a look of shock flashed in his eyes. Bald Boy, a Namek from Earth, and the son of Kakarot. Their strength has increased a lot compared to when they were on Earth. They probably haven't yet tapped into their potential, right? How did these guys cultivate? After a Saiyan recovers from the brink of death, his combat power will be greatly improved. It is thanks to this that Vegeta was able to reach a combat power of 110,000 before. But Krillin and Piccolo are not Saiyan, how did they increase their cultivation to such a level? It's unbelievable. Krillin, you're here. Sun Wufei flew out of the big hole that Vegeta had blasted open, waved to Krillin and the other 2, then glared at Vegeta. Vegeta, the Great Elder helped you to bring out your potential, and you still destroyed his house. How unkind. Snort. Vegeta snorted in response. Krillin and the other 2 followed Sun Wufei into the house with confused looks on their faces. When they saw the Great Elder, they were also surprised. This was the first time they had seen a Namek this big, and he was completely different from the others. No wonder he is called the Great Elder. You are Piccolo? You are indeed Kadaz's child. The Great Elder looked at Piccolo and sighed. When Kadaz was sent away, I never thought that he would be able to reach Earth safely and leave behind descendants. Great Great! Piccolo was a little confused. Great Elder, who are you talking about, Cadez? It should be your father or grandfather. When Namek's climate changed drastically and it was on the verge of extinction, he and several other geniuses were sent to a distant planet for refuge. Unfortunately, it seems that only he arrived on Earth safely, while the others all. The Great Elder sighed, as if recalling the past. After a moment, he shook his head gently and said, "Let's not talk about this anymore. All three of you, come here. I will help you draw out the potential power in your bodies." Potential power? What is that? Son Gohan looked puzzled. Is it as powerful as my father and uncle? Potential power is the power hidden in your body that has not been used. The Great Elder can guide it out. This is the Great Elder's special ability. Sun Wufei explained. Will that shorten the life of the Great Elder? I heard that you are almost. Son Gohan said nervously. What a good boy. The Elder smiled and said, don't worry, it's just to draw out the original potential power. It won't have any effect on my lifespan. I think I should be able to hold on for a while longer. Yes, the Great Elder will be fine, don't worry. Son Gohan touched Son Gohan's head. Gohan, go. Is it really okay? Son Gohan was still a little worried. Go ahead Gohan, if your uncle says it's okay, then it must be okay. Son Goku also spoke. Son Gohan then put his worries aside and walked up to the Great Elder. The next moment, a powerful force suddenly surged out of Son Gohan. Fighting power, 2 million. Vegeta, who was standing outside the house, suddenly turned around and looked inside with a shocked look on his face. That brat actually has such strong potential power. How old is he? Then, Piccolo and Krillin also had their potential powers tapped out. An equally astonishingly powerful aura surged out. Piccolo's combat power is 1.8 million. Krillin, with a combat power of 2.4 million, is stronger than both Piccolo and Son Gohan. I actually have such great potential power? Is this really me? Krillin looked at his hands, feeling the powerful monster-like force in his body, and was completely stunned. Totally unbelievable. This bald boy. He actually has such strong potential. How is this possible? Isn't he an Earthling? How can an Earthling have such strong potential? Vegeta was completely shocked. In his impression, the Earthlings were the weakest race, but Krillin's potential power was so strong that it was not much lower than his. This is incredible. Krillin, there's nothing to be surprised about. Your potential is the highest among all the people on Earth. Sun Wufei leaned close to Krillin's ear and laughed softly, have you forgotten that I helped you improve your potential? Boss, you mean? Krillin's eyes widened. He understood that it was Sun Wufei who helped him increase his potential value, so the potential power accumulated in his body was so strong. Boss, thank you. Thank you. I really don't know how to say it. Krillin was so excited that his eyes were filled with tears. I really didn't expect that he could be so strong. You call me boss, so if I don't help you, who will? Well, stop being so shy and get used to your current strength. Put it away as soon as possible before anyone finds out. Sun Wufei's words reminded Krillin and the other two, and they quickly restrained the power in their bodies. K-Cell, we have now improved our combat power and reached the minimum combat power limit for transforming into a Super Saiyan. Shouldn't you keep your promise and tell me the method of transformation? Of course, but before that, I'm afraid we have to solve some problems first. Sun Wufei raised his head and looked towards the sky of Namek. Didn't you feel it? There are 5 powerful auras approaching Namek at a rapid speed. The Battle of Jinyut has arrived. Early. Chapter 114. Sun Wufei guessed correctly, the one coming was none other than Frieza's top team, the Jinya Force. According to Frieza's original estimate, the Jinya Force would take 5 days to arrive, but they arrived at Namek 2 days ahead of schedule. However, no matter whether it was Son Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, Krillin, or Son Gohan, there was no sign of panic on their faces. Because their current strength has far surpassed that of the Jinya Force. The Jinya Force is not scary. What's scary is that they brought a new combat power detector. That's the latest combat power detector, it can definitely detect me at the first sight. Vegeta said solemnly, by then, that guy Shueisha will definitely find us. Castle, what exactly is the method you're talking about to transform into a Super Saiyan? Tell me quickly, or it will be too late. Sun Yufei touched his nose and said, "Okay. I can tell you. But whether you can successfully transform depends on yourself." With a serious expression, Sun Yufei said solemnly, "The secret to transformation is anger." Vegeta was stunned. Is it that simple? This is not easy at all. Sun Gofei shook his head. Let's put it this way, to transform into a Super Saiyan you need S cells in your body. The more S cells you have, the easier it is to transform. Pure-blooded Saiyans do have S cells in their bodies, but the number is too small. They need to keep a calm mind and practice continuously to increase the number of S cells in their bodies to a certain level. Then, they can use anger to cause the S cells to mutate and increase rapidly, thus transforming into a Super Saiyan. Of course, you also need super strong combat power. For a pure-blooded Saiyan, a combat power of 3 million should be the basic requirement for transformation, but for a mixed-blood Saiyan like Gohan, he doesn't need to reach such a high combat power to transform. Because the mixed blood with the Earthlings will increase the number of S cells in Saiyan's body, and at the same time, the potential value will also increase, and it will become relatively easy to transform. Sun Gofei's words made Vegeta feel like he had suddenly realized something. S cell count. So this is the secret of Super Saiyan's transformation. How much will the S cells of the offspring that combine with Earthlings increase? It seems that I should find an Earthling to breed with in the future. But before that, he has to become a Super Saiyan. Get ahead of Son Goku and Sun Yufei. Ah! Vegeta roared, and terrible energy surged out of his body. At this moment, he released all the energy in his body. No, no. Sun Yufei shook his head, that's not the case. Anger doesn't mean you should release the energy in your body. If you just keep increasing the energy like this, you won't be able to transform. There has to be real anger. As for how angry I have to be, I don't know, because I haven't successfully transformed yet, but I have to be extremely angry. Sun Yufei shrugged and looked up at the sky again. There, 5 universe spaceships were passing through the air. Let's go and greet the Jinyu Force first. We can't let Frieza get the latest model of combat power detector like this. Swish! Sun Yufei said as he suddenly soared into the sky, mist-like air rising from his body, and suddenly rushed towards the direction where the universe spaceship landed at high speed. In addition to the speed, the airflow it created caused the surrounding taller rocks to shatter. K-Soul! Those guys from the Jinyu Force are mine! Vegeta yelled and followed. Brother, I'm going too! Son Goku yelled, and West chased after him. Krillin, boss, these guys are really warlike. It's really Saiyan's nature. Ha, ha ha. He turned to look at Son Gohan and Piccolo. Well, should we go take a look? My uncle told me to take the 2 Dragon Balls to where we were hiding so that Frieza wouldn't find them, so I won't go. Son Gohan said as he took out the Great Elder's Dragon Ball from inside the house, holding it together with the other Dragon Ball they had obtained earlier, and flew into the air, heading towards the cave where they were hiding. I have to stay by the side of the Great Elder. Neil's fighting power is not enough to protect the Great Elder. Piccolo said, if necessary, I will merge with him. Combination. Krillin was a little dazed. Piccolo and Neil merged? What kind of magical operation is this? Forget it, forget it. You Namek people are weird. It's normal that you can't figure it out. I still want to follow and see, Yin. As Krillin spoke, he also released the energy in his body and followed in the direction where Sun Yufei and the others left. Piccolo, you said my power can't protect the Great Elder. Do you have a bad premonition? Behind Piccolo, Neil, who had been silent, asked. You see? It seems we really look alike. Piccolo sighed softly, with a hint of worry in his eyes. I hope this is just my illusion. ACOL area. This is where the Jinyu Force's universe spaceship landed. Did Lord Frieza call us here in such a hurry just to deal with that guy Vegeta? Let me see where he is now. GIs of the Jinyu Special Forces turned on the latest combat power detector to investigate. The next moment, his 957 expression suddenly changed. An extremely powerful force reaction. It's not King Frieza. There is more than one force, and they are approaching us quickly. What? How is that possible? Jinyu and the others were shocked and quickly turned on their respective combat power detectors. Fighting power, over 1 million. Bang! The combat power detectors of several people all exploded, and the rapidly rising force reaction exceeded the combat power detector's tolerance limit. Bart! Go find King Frieza and tell him the news. Also, bring the combat power detector with you. Quick! Captain Jinyu yelled. Among the 5 members of the Jinyu force, Bart is the fastest and is known as the fastest in the universe. After hearing Jinyu's words, he soared into the sky and flew towards Frieza's universe ship. Captain, there must be something wrong with the detector. How can there be someone more powerful than King Frieza? Sweat beads appeared on Li Gao's face. It should be a malfunction, right? Whether it's a malfunction or not, we'll know soon. They're already here. As Jinyu's voice fell, 3 figures flew over from a distance and landed in front of the 4 people in the blink of an eye. It's none other than Son Goku, and Vegeta. Hey! Jinyu Force, long time no see. Chapter 115. Vegeta. It's you. The 4 members of the Jinyu Force looked at Vegeta with shock in their eyes. Impossible. Your combat power should only be over 10,000. How could it be over 1 million? The 4-eyed dwarf Goku opened his mouth and roared. Among the Jinyu Force, he is the one who gets the worst of Vegeta. You are just a piece of trash with a combat power of only 3,000. Do you have the right to speak here? Vegeta looked at Goku with disdain and snorted. After a pause, he glanced at the other 3 people again. Oh, no, now in my eyes, you guys are all trash. There's no difference. A hole. Rico from the Jinyu Force yelled, Captain, the detector must be malfunctioning. Let me deal with Vegeta. Wait until Bart informs King Frieza and comes back. Before that, try not to fight them. Q =% Captain Jinyu said with a serious expression that he did not quite believe the data displayed by the detectors, not to mention that several of the detectors were damaged. But he felt a heavy pressure like a mountain from Sun Wufei and the other 2. Even if the combat power of these 3 people is not as terrifying as the detector shows, it is definitely greater than theirs. Bart informed Frieza. Sun Wufei's expression changed. Did Bart, who is known as the fastest man in the universe, go to inform Frieza? How can these guys be so decisive? This place is not too far from Frieza's spaceship. With Bart's speed, he might have arrived there by now. Damn it! Originally, Sun Wufei didn't want to fight Frieza so early. He wanted to kill the Jinyu Force before they met Frieza and destroy all the combat sensors, but he didn't expect Nappa to notify Frieza immediately. Could it be because their combat capability has been detected? Sun Wufei looked at Vegeta. He and Son Goku had already retracted their energy early on, only Vegeta still showed 30% of his energy. This guy, doesn't he know what it means to be low-key? Krillin, you go to Frieza's spaceship secretly and wait there. If Frieza leaves without the Dragon Ball, you steal all the Dragon Balls in the spaceship. Glancing behind him, Sun Wufei sensed Krillin's approaching aura and spoke to Krillin in his heart. Frieza's spaceship. Krillin was about to land when he heard this and was stunned. Boss, I don't know where Frieza's spaceship is. Wouldn't it be easy to tell if you just sense his aura? That guy's aura should be easy to sense. 2. Remember, Krillin, don't fight Frieza, go around him and steal the Dragon Ball. If you can steal it, that's the best, but if you can't, don't force it. I know, boss. Krillin agreed, sensed it, and changed direction to fly towards Frieza's spaceship. Vegeta, let's end this quickly. It's you who will take care of these guys, not me. Sun Wukong asked Vegeta while flying. Before Vegeta could say anything, Son Goku shouted in dissatisfaction, Brother, there is still me. Why did you leave me aside? I want to fight them too. Fighting. Sun Wufei raised his eyebrows. Goku, one-sided bullying is not a fight, it's a fight. I can control my energy and fight them. Son Goku was glared at by Sun Wufei before he could finish his words. Goku, how many times have I told you that it is the most stupid thing to suppress your own fighting power and fight with others? You may capsize at any time. You'd better give up this unrealistic idea. Besides, now is not the time to play, Frieza could come at any time, we must be prepared to fight. Leave Castle, Jinyu, and the others to me. I'm going to show them the terrifying power of Sion. Vegeta grinned, his energy suddenly surging out. He is different from Son Goku. He will never hide his strength and fight with his opponents. He always kills those who are far inferior to him directly. Okay, I'll give it to you, but you better be careful not to destroy their universe ship. Li Wufei spread his hands. If we take it seriously, we can easily deal with the Jinyu force. Vegeta alone is enough. What he wanted was the universe spaceship of the Jinyu force. If I remember correctly, the Jinyu force originally planned to attack Ydrit, but they received an order from Frieza at the last minute, so they changed their itinerary and came to Namek first. The next route set in their spaceship was to go to the planet Ydrit, so they had to leave a few behind no matter what. Forget it, I'll just go get it. Looking at the 5 large pits on the ground in the distance, Sun Wufei's body rose slightly into the air and flew towards one of the large pits. No one around. The 4 members of the Jinyu force were originally attracted by Vegeta, but when they saw Sun Wufei walking by so arrogantly, Rico, who had the most explosive temper, couldn't help it. This BD. He's so arrogant. I'm going to kill him. He struck a ridiculous pose and suddenly rushed towards Sun Wukong. Li Gao, sprint. Rushing in front of Sun Wufei, Li Gao raised his right leg and hit Sun Wufei with his knee. A grim smile appeared on his face. Got it. Bang. This attack did hit Sun Wufei's side, but it doesn't have any effect. What are you doing? Tickle me. Sun Wufei glanced at Li Gao sideways, and suddenly pointed a finger at Li Gao. Boom. A large shock wave exploded in an umbrella shape, and Li Gao didn't even have time to scream before he turned into ashes in the shock wave. Jinyu Force, Rico, die. Hiss. The 3 people including Captain Jinyu, Lin Youhao, gasped, especially Goku, whose whole body was shaking. Quick, because it's quick. He didn't even have time to release his superpower of stopping time. Li Gao, he was defeated in one move. Ji's mouth opened wide, his lips trembled, and his body unconsciously stepped back. Li Gao's attack hit Sun Wufei's lower back hard, but it was useless. Before they could even see what was going on, Li Gao was killed. Where on earth did such a scary guy come from? Nightmare. This is a nightmare. The detector's value is correct. Captain Jinyu's face was so gloomy that it looked like water was about to drip out. Vegeta's combat power is definitely over 1 million. These 2 guys are also strong. Damn, what on earth happened on this planet? How could such a thing happen? Chapter 116. Captain, what should we do now? The bodies of Gis and Goku were shaking violently. They were scared. How about we run away? Escape? Where to escape? You 2 idiots, didn't you see the murderous intent in Vegeta's eyes? Captain Jinyu knew that with a combat power of over 1 million, he was simply not able to resist it. Even if the 3 of them come together, it will be useless. What's more, there are also 3 people on the other side. What should I do? Am I going to die here today? Use that trick? Vegeta walked towards Captain Jinyu, and suddenly, he moved and disappeared completely. Swish! Appeared next to Goku. Just a hand knife. Goku's head was chopped off by Vegeta's knife, and rolled to the feet of Captain Jinyu. Vegeta, what the hell is going on? Sun Wufei muttered, and landed in the big pit where the universe spaceship was, and entered the universe spaceship to take a look. They are all alien characters, I can't understand a single word. But the procedure to go to Hydra 320 should have been set up, so don't worry, just put it away for now and ask Vegeta later. Sun Wufei took out the universal capsule he had prepared long ago and put the universe spaceship into it. Hey, I just need this capsule. I'm so foresight. Flying happily, Sun Wu flew towards the universe spaceship in another pit. Anyway, he brought enough universal capsules, so he simply collected all 5 universe spaceships. Call. With a scream, Gis also died, beaten into ashes by Vegeta. Sun Wufei didn't care about it. With Vegeta's current strength, dealing with the Jinyu force is a piece of cake. Exchange. Suddenly a loud shout was heard, accompanied by a flash of strong light. Sun Wufei, who was collecting the last universe spaceship in the pit, suddenly changed his expression. Oops! How could he have forgotten Captain Jinyu's special move? Ha ha ha! Vegeta, you have a really strong body. A triumphant laugh was heard, and Sun Wufei suddenly rushed out of the pit, only to see Captain Jinyu holding his chest with an angry look on his face. Vegeta, on the other hand, had an evil smile on his face. Oh no! Vegeta's body has been replaced. Ahaha! Jinyu, who had replaced Vegeta's body, shouted loudly, and powerful energy surged out of his body. Although it's not as powerful as Vegeta himself, it's clearly 70% of his power. Vegeta is different from the brother's son Goku. Jinyu is very familiar with his fighting style and can master his body much faster. This is a problem. Goku, be careful. Son Goku was surprised to find that Jinyu was staring at Son Goku with a smile. At this time, Jinyu had already moved. He rushed directly to Son Goku and punched him hard in the chest. Puff! Vegeta's full-strength punch with 70% of his strength was so terrifying that even Son Goku was seriously injured and vomited blood. His body flew backwards, smashing the distant hills into pieces and being buried under the rubble. Goku, you idiot! I've already warned him not to be careless. Son Yuefei cursed inwardly. With Son Goku's strength, if he is on guard, not to mention Jinyu who can only exert 70% of Vegeta's strength, even if Vegeta himself attacks, he will definitely not succeed. Son Yuefei has told him countless times about this bad habit of being careless and soft-hearted, but he just won't change. This is a big loss. Ha ha ha. What a powerful force. Vegeta, you really gave me a great gift. Jinyu's face was full of arrogance. Sion's use of power was no different from their Frieza core. He was quickly adapting to Vegeta's body, and the power in his body was being exerted little by little, CDBG. Now, it has reached 80%. Even though it was only 80%, Jinyu knew in his heart that Vegeta's combat power was definitely more than 1 million, but far more than that. He had never felt such a powerful force, even from King Frieza. Of course, Frieza is a transforming universe man. After transforming, his power will far exceed that of Vegeta's body, but before transforming, he will definitely be crushed. A whole. Jinyu, that's my body, you give it back to me. Vegeta covered his chest. Not only was Jinyu's body much weaker than his, but he was also deliberately injured by Jinyu before the exchange. He couldn't use his current body to fight at all. This guy actually has the incredible ability to swap bodies. Careless. Too careless. It was all my fault for being too arrogant just now. I should have killed him instantly and not given him the chance to use his abilities. Damn it. Vegeta, you are considered a genius. How can you say such childish things? Do you think I will return such a good body to you? Jinyu laughed wildly, and his eyes suddenly turned and stared coldly at Son Yuefei. Vegeta, as a thank you, I will save your life for last. After I kill this guy, I will deal with you properly. Son Yuefei narrowed his eyes. Is this guy Jinyu going to attack him? This idiot. I am different from Goku, I will never show mercy. Just as he was about to use all his strength to knock Jinyu down, suddenly, Son Yuefei's expression changed and he turned to look at the sky. Two figures are coming quickly towards this side. They are Bart and Lee who just went to report the news. Frieza. Damn it. If we go to war with Frieza in this situation, it will be very disadvantageous. Lord Frieza. Jinyu also saw Frieza, stopped attacking, and flew towards Frieza. Vegeta? No, you are. Jinyu? You and Vegeta swapped bodies. A look of surprise flashed across Frieza's eyes, and he pressed the new combat power detector on his left eye. 2,800,000 combat power. Is this the fighting power of Vegeta's body? He actually possesses such a strong fighting power. A look of deep shock flashed across Frieza's eyes. The next moment, he laughed. Well done, Jinyu. You are worthy of being the captain of the most powerful special forces under my command. With your current combat power, I am afraid that I am far from being your opponent under normal circumstances. King Frieza, you are too kind. I will always be your most loyal subordinate. Jinyu was shocked and quickly knelt on one knee to show his submission to Frieza. He knew very well how terrifying Lisa would be when she turned into her complete form. Not far away, Son Yuefei's face also turned completely gloomy. The current situation is really terrible. Do you want to start fighting? Chapter 117. Goku, don't come out for now. Krillin, don't come over here either. Son Goku was able to sense that although Son Goku was injured, he was not seriously injured. Krillin also followed him, but he had no chance to attack because Frieza brought the 5 Dragon Balls with him. With his mind racing, Son Yuefei mentally sent a message to Son Goku and Krillin, asking them to hold off on any action for the time being and wait and see what happens. At this moment, Frieza smiled, very good. Jinyu, you are indeed my best subordinate. You'll be in charge of dealing with these guys. Help me clean them up. Yes. King Frieza. Jinyu responded and turned to attack Son Goku, but Frieza suddenly stopped him. Wait. Hey, boy over there, have you got the remaining 2 Dragon Balls? Are you asking me? Sun Wufei narrowed his eyes slightly, and suddenly a plan came to his mind. He has an idea. That's right. We got the remaining Dragon Balls. If the 7 Dragon Balls are not gathered together, they will be useless. Frieza, you can never get the remaining Dragon Balls. Sun Gofei said with an unyielding look. It's in your hands. Frieza smiled even more happily. If I'm not mistaken, the remaining 2 Dragon Balls must be in the hands of your companions, right? Is it in that direction? The direction that Frieza pointed was the cave where Sun Gofei and the others were staying. Sun Gohan has brought back 2 Dragon Balls. It was the latest detector on Frieza's left eye that found Gohan's location. What do you want to do? Sun Wufei's face changed and he shouted, you are not allowed to hurt them. Ha ha ha. It really is there. My long-cherished wish can finally come true. Frieza laughed loudly, and the circular aircraft soared into the sky and flew towards Sun Gohan, leaving a message in the distance, Jinyu, get rid of these guys as soon as possible, and come with Bart to witness the great moment when I gain immortality. Yes. Lord Frieza. I will rush over as soon as possible. Jinyu responded loudly and put the latest combat power detector handed to him by Bart on his left eye. Frieza is really gone. Sun Wufei breathed a sigh of relief. His plan was successful. He deliberately revealed the news that the Dragon Ball was in Sun Gohan's hands in order to take advantage of Frieza's eagerness to fulfill his wish and lure him away. Only when Frieza leaves can Sun Gofei let go and deal with Captain Jinyu. Otherwise, facing Captain Jinyu and Frieza who have seized Vegeta's body at the same time, the chances of winning will become very low. King Kai. King Kai, can you hear me? Sun Wufei called out to King Kai in his heart. Listen, listen. Gofei, you little brat, you remember me now? I told you a long time ago not to provoke Frieza. Now you just won't listen. King Kai's incessant chattering sounded. Okay, Lord Kai, let's talk about this later. Please help me pass the message to Gohan, I have something to tell him. Sun Wufei interrupted King Kai and said urgently. His telepathy is only effective within a small range. Sun Gohan is too far away from him, so he can only rely on King Kai for help. You are still so impatient. Okay, just say what you want to say. I have already connected you to Gohan. King Kai complained unhappily but still helped Sun Gofei contact Sun Gohan. Gohan. Can you hear me? I'm your uncle. Uncle. Gohan, who was in the cave, raised his head, where are you? I'm talking to you through King Kai now. Listen, Frieza is heading towards you with 5 Dragon Balls. You put the remaining 2 Dragon Balls outside the cave. Once you see Frieza approaching, leave as quickly as possible and don't fight him. Do you understand? What? Sun Gohan was confused by what he said. Uncle, you want me to give 2 Dragon Balls to Frieza? Isn't that equivalent to helping him collect the 7 Dragon Balls? Did you paint it? I'm awake. Sun Wufei said in a deep voice, Nameki's 7 Dragon Balls are different from those on Earth. They require Namek language to activate. Even if you give him 7 Dragon Balls, he can't summon Shenron. You can't contend with Frieza's power. Don't fight him. He has the latest combat power detector. Even if you lower the pressure, he will find out. So leave immediately and go to the residence of the Great Elder. Take Piccolo and Dende and hide for the time being. Do you understand? Uncle, are you saying that Frieza will go to the Great Elder to ask for the spell? Then Uncle Piccolo and I should stop him. Stop him. You are no match for him. Listen to me, you must persuade Piccolo and Dende to leave. As long as Piccolo is alive, the gods can live, and the Dragon Ball of the Earth will still be there. Even if the Great Elder dies, you can use the Dragon Ball of the Earth to revive him, so that Namek's Dragon Ball can also be resurrected. I asked you to do this to buy enough time. What we lack most now is time. Gohan, do you understand? That's right. This was Son Gohan's overall plan, to use Son Gohan's 2 Dragon Balls to lure Frieza away, buy him time to kill Jinyu and get Vegeta's body back. Then, attract Frieza to the Great Elder, and buy some time to prepare for the decisive battle. If all goes well, they can fight Frieza in their best condition. Okay, uncle, I'll listen to you. Son Gohan frowned for a while, but nodded in agreement. Dad said that you are the smartest person. I think you should have a comprehensive plan, so I'll listen to you. From the time the Scion invaded Earth to now coming to Namek, all along the way, Sun Wufi's words have been proven to be correct, and all the choices have made things develop in a direction that is 3.2 times better for them. Son Gohan decided that it would be right to listen to his uncle Son Gofi. It didn't take much time for Son Gofi to explain these words to King Kai and Son Gohan in his mind. Jinyu, by this time, had completely adapted to Vegeta's body and cast his gaze towards Son Gofi. His face was full of a hideous and cruel smile. I think you are the 2 Scions who grew up on Earth? The man I just killed should be your brother, right? Jinyu pointed at himself and said, don't worry, I'm a kind person and I won't let you 2 be separated for too long. I'll send you to reunite with him soon. Sun Wufi raised his head and laughed, let go of Goku? With your weak attack? Ridiculous. Goku, come out, no need to hide anymore. Chapter 118. What? Captain Jinyu was startled and turned his head abruptly to look at the ruins. The data on the combat power detector above his left eye suddenly skyrocketed. Boom! The ruins exploded and all the rubble flew up. As if in slow motion, Son Goku, with the fiery aura lingering around him, walked out step by step from the ruins and flying rubble. Apart from a little blood on the corner of his mouth, there was no sign of injury at all. You're okay. 100. 200. 300. 40075. Bang! The rapidly increasing combat power was too much for the latest combat power detector to withstand, and it suddenly exploded. How is it possible? Your fighting ability is even higher than Vegeta's. Jinyu's eyes showed shock, his body trembled slightly, and he began to retreat. Goku, teach him a lesson. Don't hold back. Son Goku 23FLY saw that Son Goku was full of fighting spirit, so he gave up the idea of attacking, also, a quick fight. Brother, don't worry. This guy is now as powerful as Vegeta, I won't show mercy. Son Goku licked his lips, I've been waiting for this day for a long time. Swish! The next moment, Son Goku moved, rushed quickly behind Jinyu, and punched Jinyu hard on the back. Wow! Jinyu screamed and was blown away. Son Goku disappeared without a pause, and the next moment he appeared under Jinyu, kicking his legs upwards fiercely. Jinyu was kicked and changed direction and flew into the sky. Then Son Goku appeared in the sky again, and with a heavy double-handed hammer, he knocked Jinyu from the air to the ground. Boom! The loud crash was accompanied by huge clouds of dust. Jinyu was covered in wounds and lay on the ground, unable to move. And Son Goku has already assumed the opening stance for the Kamehameha wave. Kamehameha! Ha ha ha! Your body is stronger now, it belongs to me. Exchange! A strange light burned on Jinyu's body. Sun Wufi's mind moved. This guy Jinyu wants to exchange bodies with Goku again. We must not let him succeed. Vegeta, get in front of Goku. Son Goku yelled as he flew towards Vegeta. What? Vegeta was stunned for a moment, but immediately reacted, using all his strength to fly up and block the strange light waves shot by Jinyu. This BD, Lin, call out. In the bright light, Vegeta and Jinyu's souls returned to their own bodies. I'm back. Ugh, that BD cockroach beat me up so badly. Fa, what happened? Goku was a little confused when the release of the Kamehameha wave was interrupted by the bright light and impact. Goku, Vegeta, and Jinyu have been replaced, kill Jinyu quickly. Kill him? Brother, he doesn't have much fighting power now, so there's no need to kill him, right? Son Goku's soft-heartedness strikes again. Sun Wufi gritted his teeth, this idiot. The opponent has the bug ability to swap bodies. If you hold back now, what if your body is swapped again? That would be terrible. Sure enough, a strong light flashed on Jinyu's body again, and he pointed it at Son Goku, I must succeed in the exchange this time. Success, UBD. Go to hell. Before the light wave was emitted, Sun Wufi had already rushed behind Jinyu and punched him hard. The fist filled with terrifying power directly pierced through Jinyu's body and dispersed his exchange light waves. You think the same trick can work twice against me? Die! The power of thunder and fire surged out from his palm, and the powerful force instantly blew away Jinyu's vitality. Jinyu didn't even have time to scream before his body was roasted by the power of lightning and fire. Extract! The next moment, Sun Wufiai activated the power of the golden finger and directly extracted the vitality in Jinyu's body into the endless space in his right hand. A huge amount of vitality, much more than the total amount of vitality extracted from Dodoria and Sabo's bodies. Moreover, it seems to be of a higher level. Hey, now the potential value can be raised to a higher level. Sun Wufiai suddenly felt a little regretful. He shouldn't have beaten Li Gao into ashes just to show off. He should have left his body behind. How much vitality that takes? Swish! Sun Wufiai's eyes were fixed on Bart in the distance. Green light flashes in the eyes. Yes. Yes. Bart's teeth began to chatter, his eyes filled with fear, and in just a moment, Captain Jinyu turned into ashes, leaving only a set of combat uniform on the ground. This is really terrible. Wow! 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 Screaming with fear on his face, Bart turned and flew into the sky. Escape! If you don't run away, you'll die. Don't you think it's too late to run away now? A sneer of disdain flashed across Sun Wufiai's face, and he soared into the sky and arrived in front of Bart in an instant. Just stay here. He pointed a finger and hit Bart right between the eyebrows. The terrifying power contained in the finger instantly pierced Bart's forehead, and a large piece of the back of his head was blown off. Oops, I used too much force, it's a bit disgusting. Shaking his hands in disgust, Sun Wufiai skillfully created a fire to roast Bart's body, and then extracted all the chi from him. This energy is far less than Captain Jinyu's. But it's still much more than Sabo's. Sun Wufiai smacked his lips and without any hesitation, he directly called up his light screen pattern and increased his potential and stamina to the limit, bright orange legendary level. It has almost reached the intermediate level of the legendary level. It turns out that it becomes harder and harder to improve potential and stamina as time goes by. There is still a lot of vitality left, but it has no effect anymore. It seems that in order to continue to improve, a higher level of vitality is required. Perhaps, Frieza's energy can. Landing on the ground, Sun Wufiai also raised Son Goku's potential and stamina to the bright orange legendary level, with a little bit of vitality left. Leave it to Krillin, after all he is his younger brother. Krillin, you can come over now. Sun Wufiai summoned Krillin in his heart. Krillin was hiding nearby, but he didn't show up according to his arrangements just now. Boss! Krillin flew over upon hearing that, and Sun Wufiai added all of his remaining energy to Krillin's potential value, directly raising it to the Lavender Epic level. Now, Soren's potential is not much different from Vegeta and Son Gohan. Boss, Vegeta is seriously injured, what should we do? Chapter 119. Take him to Frieza's universe ship. There is a treatment chamber inside that can heal his injuries. Goku, you also need treatment. Sun Wufiai glanced at Son Goku. Just because others couldn't see it didn't mean he couldn't see it. Son Goku was still slightly injured. Frieza's universe ship? What if he comes back? Krillin was shocked. Don't worry, he won't be back in a short time. Son Gofiai said as he picked up Vegeta and flew towards Frieza's universe spaceship. They arrived at Frieza's universe spaceship and put Vegeta into the treatment chamber, while Son Gofiai was put into another old-fashioned treatment chamber. Sun Wufiai killed all the soldiers on Frieza's spaceship, roasted their bodies and absorbed their vitality. The vitality levels of these guys are not high, and they are of no help to the brothers Son Goku and Son Goku in improving their potential and physical strength. However, although the two brothers cannot use it, Krillin, Son Gohan and even Vegeta can still use it. Save it for now. After rummaging around in the universe ship, Sun Wufiai found a few sets of combat uniforms and gave one to Krillin. Krillin, put it on. This combat uniform has high flexibility and defense. It will be of some use when fighting Frieza. Then why aren't you wearing any clothes, boss? Krillin looked at Sun Wufiai strangely while putting on his combat uniform. Son Goku only prepared 3 sets of combat uniforms. In addition to 2 small sets for Krillin and Gohan, there was another set that should be for Vegeta. He did not prepare one for himself and Son Goku. I think the clothes King Kai gave me are pretty good. Very cool. No need to change. As for Goku, I think he still prefers the martial arts uniform of the Kame school. Son Gohan said as he contacted him again through King Kai and learned that Frieza had taken both Dragon Balls and he was now heading in the direction of the Great Elder. Gohan, you must convince Piccolo and Dende to come back with you. Sun Wufei explained again, oh, and Neil who is beside the Great Elder should insist on staying to protect the Great Elder. Remember to tell him that he can protect him, but he must save his life. If Sun Wufei remembered correctly, Piccolo and Neil could be fused. After fusion, Piccolo would be the main character, but his strength and potential would be greatly increased. By then, Piccolo will also be a great help in dealing with Frieza. I know, uncle. Is my dad okay? It's nothing serious, just a minor injury. He's already recovering. By the time you guys come back, he'll have fully recovered. That's good. Son Gohan felt relieved and accelerated towards the Great Elder's residence. Next, you should try to control your anger. Sun Wufei took a deep breath and flew out of the spaceship. Transforming into a Super Saiyan requires extreme anger to cause a sharp increase in the S cells in the body. Sun Gofei is very clear about these 10 points. Knowing it is one thing, but actually doing it is not that easy. First, what kind of anger is considered extreme anger? There's no line here. Sun Wufei sat cross-legged on the ground and began to force himself to get angry. But he found out. Can't seem to get angry. There's no way, everything went smoothly. Even if there were some minor setbacks in the process, it would not affect the final result. Sun Wufei really couldn't find any reason to be angry. Maybe I should hypnotize myself? A thought flashed through Sun Wufei's mind. Yes, hypnosis. Sun Wufei had trained in this move in his previous life, so it's not difficult. Well, let's think about what kind of scene to hypnotize. Well, how about? Or the scene where hypnotist fights Frieza. Sun Gofei began hypnosis, simulating the scene of them fighting Frieza. Dende is dead. It means a little bit of anger. Vegeta is dead. The anger is growing. Piccolo was shot through the chest. As his rage grew, Sun Wufei's body began to tremble slightly. Krillin, manipulated by Frieza's invisible power, flew into the sky and exploded. Excuse me. Damn it, damn it. Incomparable anger surged from the bottom of his heart, and Sun Wufei's aura began to change. Krillin offers sacrifice to the heavens, his magical power is boundless. X. Inside the spaceship, Krillin suddenly raised his head. He felt a terrifying force gathering outside the house, appearing and disappearing. Boom! Thunderclouds gathered in the sky, and strange lightning began to appear. Swish! Krillin flew out of the universe spaceship and saw Sun Gofei outside at a glance. Sun Wufei was no longer sitting cross-legged at this moment, but was floating above the ground. There was a strong energy swirling around his body, and faint flashes of electricity could be seen. The clothes on his body also began to flutter. His eyes were closed tightly, and his face was filled with extreme anger. Krillin can guarantee that he has never seen Sun Wufei look so angry. The most important thing is that Sun Wufei's hair is glowing. That is a golden light, twinkling day by day. No, it seems that the hair color is gradually changing to blonde. Boss, what happened? Could it be that you got a stitch in the side while practicing? A thought flashed through Krillin's mind, and then he became extremely certain, yes, that must be the case. That's why the boss is in so much pain. Boss, are you okay? Wake up. Don't scare me. Yelling, Krillin rushed towards Sun Wufei, hugged him and started to scream. Swish! The energy around Sun Wufei suddenly disappeared without a trace, his changing hair color returned to black, and he opened his eyes. Boss, you're awake. That's great. You got a stitch in the side while practicing just now, you scared me to death. Luckily, nothing happened. Krillin looked relieved. Krillin, are you a pighead? A black line appeared on Sun Wufei's forehead, and he had the urge to strangle Krillin to death. This idiot. Just a little bit. Just now he was just a little bit away from breaking through and transforming into a Super Saiyan, but Krillin ruined it. I'm so depressed that I want to vomit blood. Krillin, this idiot, didn't come earlier or later, but just when I was about to succeed. Was he deliberately going against me? Ah? Boss, why are you scolding me? Scold you? I want to hit you. Sun Wufei angrily slapped Krillin on the bald head. Boss, I almost became a Super Saiyan just now, it was all because of you, you idiot, who woke me up. You were sent by God to play with me, right? UBD. Stop right there. I'm going to make you sacrifice to the heaven today, and the law will never be fulfilled. Wow, boss, I didn't mean it, you can't do this. Chapter 120. Sun Gofei was very depressed because his transformation into Super Saiyan was interrupted by Krillin. It is unlikely to enter that kind of hypnotic environment again. Hypnosis is not something you can do just by thinking about it, and the effect won't be as good the second time. However, Sun Gofei finally figured out what level of anger is required to transform into a Super Saiyan. It's the kind of feeling where your whole body is shaking and you're so angry that you want to destroy everything. But his mind was quite clear at that moment, even colder than usual. All in all, it's pretty amazing. Closing his eyes, Sun Wufei recalled the previous feeling over and over again. He wanted to get as familiar with this feeling as possible so that he could enter more quickly next time and successfully break through and transform. As time passed, Frieza finally found the Great Elder's residence just as Sun Wufei had designed. Prior to this, Sun Gohan persuaded Piccolo and Dende to leave with him and head towards Frieza's universe spaceship. But Piccolo stopped midway. He was still worried about the Great Elder and decided to go back to check. However, Piccolo promised Gohan that he would never take action unless it was a critical moment of life and death. Frieza, hey? Are you here to interrogate Shenron's summoning spell? Neil walked out of the Great Elder's house and looked at Frieza, who had landed on the top of the mountain with a heavy expression on his face. As Sun Wufei and the others said, this Frieza has an unfathomable evil power hidden in him. It seems you already know why I came here. Frieza smiled, are you going to tell me the method of summoning? On the contrary, I won't tell you. Neil shook his head, a trace of anger appeared on his face, you cruel guy, just to ask the spell, you killed a village of Namek people. A demon like you is not worthy of the right to make a wish. Not worthy? Frieza's face darkened. It seems you don't know how powerful I, the Emperor of the Universe, am. It doesn't matter. I will soon teach you and your companion a lesson. My companion? Neil laughed, do you want to threaten the Great Elder like you threaten others? I'm afraid I have to remind you that the person inside is the Great Elder of the entire Namek. Dragon Ball was created by the Great Elder. If anything happens to the Great Elder, the Dragon Ball will also turn into a useless stone. Goodbye. Frieza was startled and looked up. Two beams of light shot out of his eyes, which blasted through the second layer of bulkhead that had just been repaired, and the figure of the Great Elder appeared. It seems that you are right. You are indeed different from other Namek people. Frieza's figure floated up and looked at the Great Elder. I don't think you will give me the spell to summon Shenron, right? In that case, I'm afraid I'll have to put some effort into you, my companion. The Great Elder, Neil, is different from other Namek people. He is a combat-oriented Namek. You want to use him to threaten me? Impossible. Besides, the Dragon Ball is very fragile. It will be destroyed if it gets a little damaged. It's not a wise choice for you to carry the Dragon Ball with you. Really? Frieza narrowed his eyes slightly, thought for a moment, and called out into the communicator, Jinyu? Do you hear me, Jinyu? It's Frieza's voice. Sun Wufei was closing his eyes and recalling the previous feeling, when he suddenly heard Frieza's voice coming from the combat power detector and was startled. After rolling his eyes, he suddenly had an idea, put on the combat power detector, turned on the communication function, and replied in a respectful tone, Lord Frieza, what can I do for you? Are you Jinyu? Why don't you sound like him? Frieza was a little surprised. Didn't Jinyu swap bodies with Vegeta? But this voice doesn't sound like Vegeta's. I swapped bodies with another Saiyan, and then killed Vegeta and the others. Oh? Another Saiyan, that guy has more power than Vegeta. Yes, Lord Frieza. Very good. Jinyu, you did a great job. Frieza believed what Sun Gofei said, put all the Dragon Balls in the circular aircraft, and opened the shield. Jinyu, I'll put the Dragon Ball in the aircraft and send it back to the spaceship. You immediately locate the aircraft and come out to catch it. Keep an eye on the Dragon Ball until I get the spell to summon Shenron and return. Sun Wufei was overjoyed when he heard this. Damn! This is simply sending a pillow to someone when they are sleepy. Frieza actually wants to return the 7 Dragon Balls. But he still suppressed his joy and pretended to be worried and said, King Frieza, is this inappropriate? What if someone kidnaps us on the way? Don't worry, there are no more people left on this planet. Just locate yourself now and come out to meet them. You shouldn't be carried away by anyone. Sun Gofiai's words made Frieza believe him even more. After some settings, the aircraft soared into the sky and flew at high speed towards the direction of the universe spaceship. Lord Frieza, I will leave immediately. After hanging up the communicator, Sun Gofiai couldn't help but burst into laughter. Ha ha ha, Frieza is such an idiot. He actually sent 7 Dragon Balls directly into my hands. Once he knows the truth, he will be so angry that he will vomit blood, haha. Boss, what are you laughing at? What happened? Krillin and Son Goku rushed in. Son Goku's injuries were not too serious and he recovered after half a day in the treatment cabin. But Vegeta estimated that it would take some time. Hey, Lisa brought us the Dragon Ball. Son Goku smiled wickedly and told Krillin and Son Goku about the conversation between him and Frieza. Brother, you are so mean. You can even think of such a method. Son Goku was very happy and made faces. It's Frieza's fault that he's so stupid. He believes whatever I say. Son Gofiai shrugged, you guys wait here, I'll go with the Dragon Ball radar and bring the Dragon Ball back. Gohan, Piccolo and Dende should be heading this way. When they arrive, summon Shenron immediately. This time, we're going to make Frieza suffer a loss. Son Gofiai said as he flew out of the universe spaceship and flew at high speed in the direction displayed on the Dragon Ball radar. Because Frieza already believed that he was Captain Jinyu, Son Gofiai did not suppress his aura and rushed towards the Dragon Ball as fast as possible. Outside the Great Elder's house. Well, that Jinyu guy has moved, good. Frieza checked Son Gofiai's movements through the detector, nodded with satisfaction, and looked up at Neil. For the sake of your Great Elder's life, let's change the place. I believe you will agree. Chapter 121. I saw the flying machine. Dragon Ball is inside it. Sun Gofiai was very fast and he didn't need to control his breath. It only took him a short time to catch the circular aircraft. As expected, all 7 Dragon Balls were inside. Hee. Frieza, I really have to thank you this time. Ha ha ha. After laughing a few times, Sun Gofiai's expression suddenly changed. He sensed that 2 faint auras were approaching this side, above the ground. Swish! Sun Gofiai flew over with the flying vehicle. It's Son Gohan and Dende. Gohan, Dende. Uncle. Mr. Gofiai. Son Gohan and Dende were overjoyed when they met Son Gofiai, and were even more surprised when they saw the 7 Dragon Balls in the flying vehicle next to Son Gofiai. Hey! This was given to me by Frieza himself. Son Gofiai laughed mischievously, then frowned slightly. Where's Piccolo? Why can't I see Piccolo? Uncle Piccolo was worried, so he turned back halfway through his journey, but he promised me that he would try not to meet Frieza unless the life of the Great Elder was threatened. Son Gohan said. That Piccolo guy. Son Gohan shook his head, picked up Son Gohan and Dende, one in each hand, and flew towards the universe spaceship. The 2 of them were afraid of being detected by Frieza's combat power detector, so they suppressed their energy and traveled on the ground. Very smart move. It's best to keep it like this until Shenron is summoned, to avoid being noticed by Frieza early. Back on the universe spaceship, Sun Gofiai cut off the power to Vegeta's treatment cabin. Castle, what are you doing? Vegeta's injuries had not yet fully healed when he was suddenly interrupted. He looked at Sun Gofiai viciously. Why are you so excited? Of course there is a faster way to heal you if you come out. Sun Gofiai rolled his eyes and shook his head towards Dende. Dende, go ahead. Under Vegeta's puzzled gaze, Dende walked in front of him, and green light appeared on his hands, shining towards Vegeta. A moment later. My injury is healed. Vegeta was surprised to find that his injuries were healed in a very short time, and his fighting ability was greatly improved because of this serious injury. Perhaps, he is not much weaker than the brothers Son Goku and Son Gofiai. It's time to summon Shenron Porunga. Son Gofiai took a deep breath and said, let me make it clear first. My first wish is to revive Jiaozi. My second wish is that everyone except me, Goku and Frieza will be transferred to Earth. Is that okay? What's not a problem? There's a big problem. As soon as Son Gofiai finished speaking, Vegeta was not happy. Why should only you and Kakarot stay? My strength has greatly increased now, and I want to duel with Frieza too. Well, then, except for the three of us who stay, everyone else will move to Earth. Sun Wufei scratched his head. Vegeta was in this state, and if he was not allowed to stay to duel, I think he can turn the world upside down. At this moment, everyone came to the outside of the universe spaceship, and Dende summoned Shenron Porunga in Namek. The sky suddenly became gloomy, and then quickly turned into night, with a huge Shenron Palanxes stalk hanging above the sky. This strange change in the celestial phenomenon also attracted the attention of Frieza, who was standing near the Great Elder's residence. What's going on? Why is it suddenly dark? Doesn't Namek never have nights? Frieza had already beaten Neil to the point of death, and was impatiently asking for the spell to summon Shenron. When he saw this change in the celestial phenomena, he suddenly had a bad premonition. Ha, ha ha. Your wish is doomed to fail. Dende and the others have already met up with the people on Earth and summoned Porunga. Neil showed a happy smile on his blood-stained face. What? Frieza was startled, and suddenly remembered the 7 Dragon Balls he had given away. Could it be a hole? How dare you lie to me? You're stalling for your time here. Hateful. Suddenly, astonishing energy rose from Frieza's body, and the ground beneath his feet suddenly exploded. He soared into the sky and rushed towards the direction of the universe spaceship at the fastest speed. That BD. That scion from Earth. He's not Captain Jinyu. He defeated Jinyu. He came here on purpose to steal my Dragon Ball. Damn it. Damn it. How dare you deceive me, King Frieza? You inferior creatures, just wait for me, I will kill you all. Not a single one will be spared. At an astonishing speed, Frieza flew towards the universe spaceship. At this time, Dende made his first wish to Shenron Porunga. Porunga, please revive the dumplings that were stripped by Scion Vegeta on Earth. Buzz. On King Kai's planet, the halo on Jiaozi's head disappeared. Alright, Jiaozi has been resurrected. Now, make the second wish come true. Send everyone except me, Goku, Vegeta, and Frieza to Earth. Wu Fei, wait. As soon as Sun Wufei finished speaking, Piccolo's voice rang in everyone's ears. He also transmitted his voice through King Kai. Change your wish and let me stay too. Let you stay? Piccolo, you must be kidding. Frieza's power is beyond your ability to contend with. No, maybe I can fight him. Neil is dying, and he wants to assimilate with me. I already have strong fighting power, and after assimilation, I should become even stronger. Is Neil going to assimilate with Piccolo? Sun Wufei frowned, something like this is not going to happen. However, even if Piccolo and Neil merged, they would not have the power to defeat Frieza. Go Fei. This is my hometown. Frieza, that BD, destroyed this place like this. No matter how strong he is, I will fight him. This is my responsibility as a Namek. Piccolo yelled. 3.5, okay, I understand. Then you should quickly assimilate with Neil. I will modify my wish and let you stay. Sun Wufei compromised. This was Piccolo's pride and responsibility, and he could not find any reason to refuse. Anyway, the Dragon Ball on Earth is still there, so if the situation is not right, we can just use the Shenron on Earth to transfer everyone away. However, Piccolo must be kept alive. The second wish was spoken, and at the same moment, Piccolo successfully assimilated with the dying Neil, and his strength increased significantly again. That's Shenron. Damn it, they really are making wishes behind my back. Bastards. Bastards. Ah. In the distance, Frieza rushed over with a mad roar, but it was too late. In a flash of light, everyone on Namek, except Son Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo and Frieza, was teleported to Earth. Chapter 122. Snap. Frieza appeared in front of Sun Wufei and his companions. It's you guys. Vegeta, you actually changed back. It turns out that this was all a scam. Frieza's face was gloomy, and he stared coldly at Sun Wufei and the other two. Frieza, you can't say that. It was you who mistook me for Jinyu, and it was you who gave the Dragon Ball to me. I didn't force you to do that. Sun Wufei laughed, what can I say? I can only say that you are too stupid. It's you. Frieza's eyes were extremely cold. You are the one who deceived me. Very good. Very good, I will soon let you know what despair is. Ha! With a loud roar, violent energy surged out of Frieza's body, and his body size was also rapidly growing. The body swelled up, and the hands and feet became thicker and longer. This is a joke. Under the surprised gazes of Son Goku and Vegeta, Frieza changed into his second form. He looked tall and sturdy, and the two horns on his forehead became longer and curved upwards like bull horns. What do you think? Are you scared by my current appearance? My current strength is so strong that even I can't control it. Frieza laughed triumphantly. Strong? Is this what you call strong? Vegeta smiled. The next moment, his figure suddenly disappeared and appeared in front of Frieza. He raised his hand and punched, directly knocking Frieza's tall body away. Boom! Several huge rocks were smashed, and a loud explosion was heard. A large area of the ground disappeared and turned into an ocean. Tisk! You dare to say such nonsense after transforming only once, you idiot! Vegeta spat in disdain. Hey? Vegeta, you've gotten a lot stronger. It seems that after Sion came back from the brink of death, his fighting power will still increase, even though he has already unleashed his potential power. Sun Wufei was a little surprised. He originally thought that Sion's fighting power surged after his near-death resurrection because he developed the potential power in his body, but now it seems that this is not the case. With a thought, Sun Wufei called up Vegeta's light curtain pattern. Sure enough, Vegeta's potential value increased, and the purple pattern representing the potential value became darker. The Sion race really has unlimited potential. Now it seems that every time Sion comes back from the brink of death, his potential increases. No wonder Son Goku surpasses Vegeta in the original work. Because he had experienced too many near-death situations, especially during his training from Earth to Namek. However, in this life, because of his appearance, the two brothers have not actually experienced too many near-death battles, so the normal growth of their potential value is limited, which led to Sun Wufei's discovery only now. That is to say, my golden finger is actually shortening and advancing the process of increasing this potential value? If one day it reaches the god level, will it stop increasing? Sun Wufei became a little worried. He had always been used to using the golden finger to improve the potential of his brothers. Suddenly, he found that the effect of this golden finger might reach its limit one day. For a moment, he found it hard to accept. Assholes! How dare you hurt my noble body? I won't forgive you! A loud roar pulled Sun Wufei back from his sigh. It was Frieza. He rushed out of the huge whirlpool, his body covered in blood. Vegeta's punch from before seemed to have caused him considerable damage. Frieza was too arrogant. He had clearly used a combat power detector to detect Jinyu's combat power after exchanging Vegeta's body, but he was still so careless. I will transform directly into my complete form and let you know what true fear is. Ah! Amidst the roar, powerful energy surged out of Frieza's body, and a blazing light surged out of Frieza's body. His form continued to change, transforming into an ugly third form. Then it changes further. The powerful force made the whole earth tremble, and the face of Master Sun Wufei began to change. The energy is increasing so fast. Castle, is this what you said, Frieza's final form? Is he going to change into his true form? Vegeta was a little stunned as he felt the terrifying aura in the air. That's right. He is really serious. In his perfect form, a monster with a combat power of 120 million at 100%. Sun Wufei swallowed his saliva, and his body trembled slightly, but it was not because of fear, but excitement. An excitement that came from deep in his blood was active in his body. Perhaps, this is the special feature of the Sion people? Perhaps, what allowed him to reach the top was not some golden finger, but the wildness that came from Sion's blood. Unlimited potential of wildness. Bang! Balala! Frieza's transformation was finally completed, and a figure appeared in the scattered dust. Blood-red eyes, purple-black lips, 2 lines like blood and tears under the eyes, shiny purple skin on the body, and pale skin all over. He is much shorter than before. Is this Frieza's final form? It doesn't look that great. Vegeta frowned. Although he could clearly feel that Frieza's energy had become much stronger, but 100 seems not as good as him. Don't be careless. This guy now only has the initial combat power of his final form, which is about 3 million. Sun Wufei said in a deep voice. Initial combat power. Son Goku and Vegeta were stunned. Son Goku scratched his head. Why doesn't he use all his fighting power? Our fighting power is stronger than his now. Because he can't sense chi, he doesn't know that our fighting power is now higher than his. Sun Wufei smiled, this is an opportunity. An opportunity to praise him. Sorry, I'll go first. Before he finished speaking, Sun Wufei disappeared and rushed towards Frieza. This is a duel, not a duel. To Sun Wufei, getting ready before starting a fight is a joke. To be honest, if he hadn't wanted to use Frieza's hand to force himself to break through and transform into a Super Saiyan, he would have just sneak attacked and killed Frieza when he was still in the first form. Strength is useless before it is used. A sneak attack can solve the problem. Call. Frieza never expected that Sun Gofei would take the initiative to attack without any warning. He was caught off guard and was hit directly, and was knocked flying heavily, with a trace of blood flowing out from the corner of his mouth. Chapter 123. It's not over yet. Sun Wufei followed closely and threw a hook punch from bottom to top at Frieza's lower abdomen. Frieza dodged and swung his right arm towards Sun Gofei, but Sun Gofei blocked it with his hand and kicked him away again. Damn it! Frieza steadied his body in mid-air, but there was no trace of Sun Gofei. Bang! Sun Wufei appeared behind him and cut his neck with a knife. Frieza was hit by the huge force contained in it and flew towards the ground. Boom! The land broke apart directly. Ah! Key blast light bullets appeared in Sun Gofei's hands and blasted towards Frieza. The violent explosion continued to expand, and the flames and shock waves of the explosion also spread out suddenly in all directions at the same time. This Sky Castle! Both Vegeta and Son Goku couldn't help but raise their hands to block the oncoming strong shockwave. Vegeta was secretly angry. Just based on the fighting power that Sun Wufei had shown in these few moves, he was already better than him. This guy's combat power is definitely more than 5.2 million. The earth continued to crack apart amidst the violent explosions, and this large area of land collapsed and disappeared without a trace. Even Son Goku and Vegeta had to jump into the air to avoid the explosion. Frieza's universe spaceship was shattered along with the earth under this terrible destructive force. Brother, this time you've made a big fuss. Didn't he say he was just going to beat up Frieza? In mid-air, Son Goku scratched his head, a little surprised. Humph. A fight is a fight. Once you take action, you must not show mercy. Frieza deserves to be killed unless he shows his true strength. Vegeta snorted coldly, what a pity, my chance to attack was taken away by this Sky Castle, damn it. No. Frieza is not dead. Son Goku shook his head, don't you feel it? His energy is not decreasing, but increasing. What? Vegeta was startled, and after careful observation, his expression suddenly changed. An extremely powerful air is rising from beneath the sea. It has completely surpassed Sun Wufei's energy. Still continuing to improve. Boom! The sea exploded. Frieza's body rose from under the sea. His entire body was enveloped in a thick black-purple aura, and an extremely strong sense of oppression emanated from him. It hurts. You hit me so hard. Frieza's face showed a ferocious anger, except for my father, no one has ever beaten me so hard. You are worthy of me knowing your name. Tell me your name, and I'll send you to hell. This guy doesn't even have many scars on his body. Sun Wufei was secretly surprised. He had not held back at all just now, and was thinking that he could do some damage to Frieza. It's easier to fight children. I didn't expect this guy to be so thick-skinned. Too tough. My name is Sun Gofei, and I'm a Saiyan who grew up on Earth. Frieza, today, I will avenge all the Saiyans who were destroyed in your hands. Sun Wufei floated opposite Frieza, and faced with the surging energy from Frieza, he did not show the slightest fear. Sun Wufei? Very good. I will remember you. Frieza stretched out a hand, to show my appreciation for you, I have decided to use 50% of my fighting power to kill you. 50% combat power? That's 60 million combat power. Sun Gofei's eyes narrowed. His full combat power was now close to 6 million, almost twice as strong as Son Goku in the original work at the same time. In other words, Tianbei Kaioken is enough. With a curled mouth, Sun Wufei's eyes were filled with fighting spirit. Come on, I just want to see how powerful the Universe Emperor Frieza is. Snort. Frieza snorted coldly, I'll let you know now. Face your fears. With a flash of his body, Frieza was in front of Sun Gofei and kicked him with his knee. So fast. Sun Wufei was startled, and before he could think about it, he retreated quickly, but he was suddenly kicked hard on the back and was thrown out, smashing an island in the distance into pieces. Swish! Sun Wufei's figure rose into the sky from the ruins, his clothes already becoming tattered. This BD is really amazing. Sun Wufei was a little angry. Frieza, this guy, actually started fighting without hesitation. He didn't have the temperament of a strong man at all. What a despicable guy. There's nothing to be polite about. Give him a good fight. Strive to break through to super harmful. 10 times, Kaioken, boom. A red aura swirled around Sun Gofei, and with a loud bang, he rushed towards Frieza. A punch hit Frieza's face hard. What? Frieza didn't expect that Sun Gofei's power would increase so much in an instant, and he was caught off guard and knocked away. He suddenly steadied himself and turned around to attack, but was blocked by Sun Wufei, who raised his right arm. Oink oink. Continuous fierce attacks, punches and kicks, blocking and attacking quickly at the same time. In just a short moment, the two had already exchanged dozens of moves. Call. Sun Wufei was hit on the head by Frieza's tail and flew out. Before he landed on the ground, he immediately turned over and kicked hard with his legs. The ground exploded, and Sun Go flew back and grabbed Frieza's tail. Aye! With a loud roar, he grabbed the tail with both hands and spun rapidly, then suddenly let go. Frieza's figure was thrown out at high speed and hit the ground heavily. Another island turned into rubble in the fire and smoke and disappeared. Lonesome waves. A huge Kamehameha wave dropped from the sky and hit Frieza hard. There was a horrific explosion and the entire island was completely annihilated in flames and shock waves. Hiss! Is this Castle's true strength? How can he be so powerful? He can actually fight against that monster Frieza on equal terms. No, he even has the upper hand. In the distant sky, Vegeta showed an extremely shocked expression on his face. Could it be that he has become a Super Saiyan? Super Saiyan? No, that's Kaioken, 10 times Kaioken. Son Goku shook his head. Both he and Sun Wufei can now use 20 times Kaioken, but it is only 10 times, which does not put too much burden on the body. 10 times, Kaioken? What kind of move is this? Vegeta narrowed his eyes. It seems that the brothers Son Goku and Son Goku have quite a few hidden secrets. Chapter 124. Swish! Frieza's figure rose from the sea, with several scars on his body and a face full of anger. Impossible. You're just a Saiyan, how can you have such powerful strength? Frieza is very clear about his own strength. Although he only used 50% of his strength, his combat power is as high as 60 million. Sun Wufei was actually able to keep up with his speed. The strength is not much different from his. Saiyan, how could he be so strong? Are you surprised? I am surprised too. But it is the truth. Sun Gofei laughed. To be honest, he never thought that he could fight Frieza evenly without transforming into a Super Saiyan. Even if this is only 50% of Frieza's power. Frieza, I remember you said just now that you would use 50% of your strength to kill me? I am alive and well now. And you, seem to be in a bit of a mess. Facing Sun Gofei's ridicule, Frieza's face became even gloomier. A hole. No one can laugh at me. No one. Sun Wufei. You've completely p'd me off. I'm going to kill you in one go. 70% strength. Even more terrifying energy surged out from Frieza's body, and the entire planet began to tremble. 70%, 84 million combat power? It's really powerful, it makes me tremble a little. Sun Wufei's eyes burst out with a stronger fighting spirit, and his gaze became more resolute. But, it's not enough. 15 times, Kaioken. The red aura on his body became more and more violent. 15 times Kaioken is the strongest Kaioken that Sun Wufei has been able to control without damage so far. Going further, he could forcefully use 20 times the Kaioken, but that would put a great strain and damage on his body. The war started again. Whoosh whoosh. The sounds of fists and feet clashing echoed throughout the planet, but aside from Son Goku and Vegeta, there was no one left on Namek. King Kai's planet. Lord Kai, what's the situation? Can Gofei and the others win? Yam Sha asked anxiously, and Tian Xinyan and Jiaozi beside him also looked anxious. I didn't expect that Gai Sun Gofei could actually fight against that monster Frieza. 15 times Kaioken. He used 15 times the Kaioken, which was equal to 70% of Frieza's strength. King Kai's forehead was covered with sweat and he muttered to himself. On Earth, everyone appeared near a woodland outside Zeta's school. At this moment, everyone was following the battle on Namek through King Kai's retelling. Boss, you must win. Klin clenched his fists and prayed in his heart. He had already informed Bulma, and at this moment Bulma, Taisai, Lankai and other girls were rushing over with their children. Boss, Goku, you must win and come back safely. Otherwise, I won't be able to explain to Bulma and Taisai. Above Namek, Vegeta was forced to retreat far away due to the powerful force of the fight between Gofei and Frieza. His current combat power is only 5.3 million, which is weaker than Son Goku and Son Goku who don't use Kaioken. In this level of battle, he found that he can't get involved. All of his potential strength has been unleashed, and he was once again saved from the brink of death, further increasing his strength, but he still can't help. Kaioken. Kaiken. What kind of kung fu is this that can allow Son Gofei, whose fighting power is only slightly higher than his, to fight Frieza so fiercely? Son Goku's eyes sparkled, and he looked eager to try. Wow! Frieza is really amazing. My brother has used 15 times the Kaioken, but he still can't beat him. Son Goku clenched his fists. It looks like he really only used 70% of his strength. This guy is really amazing. I really want to fight him, CDBJ. Son Goku can do Kaioken, and Son Goku can do it, and they can also withstand 15 times the level without any damage. Son Goku was very envious when he saw the fierce and difficult fight between Son Gofei and Frieza. If he had known earlier, he should have taken the initiative and wouldn't have to stand here and watch Son Gofei perform. If my brother loses, I will take his place right away. Son Goku said to himself. Vegeta was speechless and couldn't help but shout, Kakarot. When dealing with a monster like Frieza, why are you still talking to him about principles? Just rush over to help. With the combined strength of the three of us, we can definitely defeat Frieza. No. Son Goku shook his head, this is a battle between my brother and Frieza. We can't interfere until my brother speaks up. Fight? Is this just a fight? Kakarot, how can you be so naive? Vegeta was a little mad. If we can't defeat Frieza, not only will the three of us die, but those Namek people, your Earth and even the entire universe will be in danger of destruction. Do you understand? Vegeta, I understand your concerns, but that situation hasn't happened yet, let's just wait and see. Son Goku nodded thoughtfully, then shook his head, scratched his head and laughed. I think this is what my brother meant. He may not lose. Son Gofei really thought so. The reason why he used his second wish to transfer everyone else to Earth was so that he could focus on fighting Frieza. He wants to defeat Frieza fairly with his own strength. He also had to use the pressure Frieza gave him to push him to his limit, and successfully break through and transform into a Super Saiyan. Frieza, is this all you have? You can't possibly beat me like this. After being hit by Frieza several times in succession, Son Gofei was covered in wounds, but his fighting spirit was getting stronger and stronger. He had been trying to make himself angry and get back to the state he was in during hypnosis, and it did have some effect. But not big. Because Frieza did not give him overwhelming force. What he needs now is that kind of overwhelming force. Therefore, Frieza must be fierce. This BD. Veins on Frieza's forehead were throbbing. Even with 70% of his strength, he still couldn't completely suppress Son Gofei. This time, he was completely furious. He is the Universe Emperor Frieza, when has he ever been pushed to such an extent? Unforgivable. Absolutely unforgivable. You want to see my full power, Frieza? My full power is something that even I cannot fully control. But I will show it to you. I will let you die in an instant under this unparalleled power. Chapter 125. Hey. ES greater than or equal to 75. E greater than or equal to 80. Frieza's power rapidly gathered and rose, and the entire Namek began to tremble under this power. Wu Fei. We can't let him gather his strength. While he's unable to move, destroy him now. King Kai yells at Son Gofei on King Kai's planet. No. I refuse. Sun Yufei shook his head. What? Reject? Wu Fei, do you know what you are talking about? King Kai yelled angrily, that's Frieza. Universe Emperor Frieza. Do you want to bury Namek in the earth? Lord Kai, there's no need to say more. I've already made my decision. Sun Yufei shook his head resolutely, I want to see Frieza's full strength. And then, defeat him fair and square. Wu Fei, have you ever thought about what would happen if you lose? No. I'm sure. Lord Kai, I must kill Frieza myself. As Sun Yufei spoke, a surge of anger suddenly surged in his heart. He suddenly felt that the state he was in during the hypnosis was returning little by little. King Kai dropped his hands with a dejected look on his face, turned to look at the nervous Tian Xinyan and the other two, and smiled bitterly. He insisted on fighting Frieza at full strength. Perhaps he really has something to rely on. Now, this is all I can hope for. On Namek, Frieza finally gathered 100% of his strength, and all the muscles in his body swelled dramatically. A terrifying purple-black aura enveloped his entire body. Sorry to have kept you waiting. This is my 100% power, Frieza. Looking up, Frieza showed an evil smile on his face. Next, prepare to face your fear. I will not hold back. In a moment. I'll kill you. Before he finished speaking, his figure disappeared. So fast. Sun Yufei was startled and swung his elbow hard behind him. The result was empty. Frieza appeared above Sun Gofei's head and did a spinning downward kick, hitting Sun Gofei's head hard. QHG. Sun Yufei screamed and was hit and flew downward. Swish. Frieza's figure disappeared shortly afterwards and chased after Sun Yufei. Too strong. 15 times the Kaioken can't keep up with his speed. We must fight. Sun Yufei's mouth was bleeding, and he was furious. However, he had not yet reached the limit of transformation. In this case, he could only rely on the 20 times Kaioken to hold on. I hope I can make a breakthrough before my body collapses. 20 times Kaioken. The red flames surged, and Sun Gofei's body began to tremble, but he finally caught up with Frieza. Somersault in the air, a gas bullet flew out from Sun Gofei's hand and hit Frieza. What? Frieza was shocked that Wu Fei could still resist. He put his arms in front of him to block the attack of the air bullet. As soon as Frieza let go of his arms, a pair of big feet kicked him hard in the face and kicked him away. Hey, how does my big feet taste? Sun Yufei wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth and smiled evilly. An attack like that just now couldn't hurt Frieza, but it could make him feel pain. A hole. UBD. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you. I'll cut you into pieces. Steadying himself, Frieza wiped the corner of his mouth and found a trace of blood. His entire face was distorted in a hideous manner. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. Multiple death rays shot out from his hands, and Sun Yufei dodged hastily. He was now in the 20x Kaioken state, and he was not a Super Saiyan. He would not be able to withstand the death rays head-on. Aha! Just after dodging a few death rays, Frieza rushed in front of him and punched Sun Yufei hard in the face, knocking him out. This guy's punch is really powerful. Forcing his energy to stabilize his body, Sun Yufei had no time to be surprised and had to do his best to resist the attack from Frieza who had caught up with him. However, we are still completely at a disadvantage. Frieza at 100% full strength is too strong. Even with 20 times Kaioken, it still can't resist. Boom! Sun Yufei was hit by Frieza's continuous attacks and crashed heavily into the island below. Destroy! I will destroy you and this planet together. A black energy ball surrounded by electric light appeared in Frieza's hand. The next moment, it suddenly expanded and expanded. Requesting flowers. In a flash, it had reached a size of several hundred meters and smashed down heavily towards the island where Sun Yufei fell. Elder brother! Son Goku roared in shock and anger, and rushed forward suddenly, but it was too late. Above the ground, a powerful explosion spread out, an endless bright light and shock waves submerged everything. Above King Kai's planet. It's over. It's all over. King Kai lowered his head dejectedly, they are all dead. What? They're all dead? Could it be Wu Fei and Goku? Tian Xinyan and the other two were shocked. Yes, you guessed it right. Frieza destroyed Namek, including Son Goku and Vegeta, and turned them all into ashes together with Son Goku, except for Frieza. No one can survive, the impossible. Yamcha shook his head in disbelief. Goku and Goku, how could they? Lord Kai, please take another look, there may be a chance of recovery. Tien Shinyan said urgently. No matter how you look at it, it's all the same. King Kai moved his tentacles with a sad face and began to search. Suddenly, his expression changed. Hey? Namek is still there. Namek is not destroyed. Above Namek, a terrifying bottomless hole appeared on the ground hit by Frieza's destructive energy ball. Electric arcs flashed inside, and sea water from all sides continued to fall into it. Frieza's figure was floating in the sky, and not far away were Son Goku and Vegeta. There is no sign of Son Wufei. Ha ha ha. Frieza, you're afraid that the planetary explosion will suck you in, so you're holding back. Vegeta burst into laughter. He was extremely grateful to have escaped. Brother, what did you do to my brother? Son Goku's expression was gloomy and angry. He did not sense Son Goku's aura. Son Wu's energy disappeared. What's wrong? Didn't you see it? Humph. That guy has been beaten to pieces by me. Frieza snorted coldly and grinned, don't think you can escape. The core of this planet has been destroyed. It will explode in 5 minutes at most. Even if I don't kill you, you're dead. Scion, you are destined to become the dust of the universe. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel so you're notified of future uploads. You can find the next parts in the playlist visible on the screen or on my channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.